Well, I was walking down the street, feeling kind of neat, when the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. Oh, it was a sight to see, my hair flying in the breeze, 'cause the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. People started laughing, they couldn't believe their eyes as my wig flew through the sky. Oh, what a surprise. I tried to catch it, but it slipped right through my hands, 'cause the wind came out your butt and now it's somewhere in the land. Oh, wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. Baby, you drive like shit. Did you see that car that you almost hit? I'd rather take the bus instead. Riding with you, I'm gonna end up dead. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. She just ran through, always stop. I ain't trying to get stopped by the cops. Baby, why the hell did I let you drive? It's a miracle that you're still alive. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look out, my girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. My girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Moving ain't over. Heard you think you're tough. Gotta let you know I will fuck you up. I whoop that ass, talking all that shit, spank that ass till you tap like a bitch. No, I ain't playing, I'm here to kick ass. Whoop that ass, it's time to punch face. I'm the one who brings you pain in the ring. I whoop that ass until the bell rings. Already know that I do not play. Throw a punch like I'm cutting down hay. I whoop that ass every single night. Spank that ass till they stop the fight. I'll tell you the story of a man, a radioactive tip in his hand. His hand grew 10 times its normal size to help him get his money on time. He knew if the bitch was telling a lie, which was 100% of the time. Superpowers to make a bitch listen, then get her naked with sex-ray vision. Sweep a police station in a single bound, slapping bitches down to the fucking ground. His name was famous across the land. They called him the pimp named Superhand. Oh shit, yeah, the pimp named Superhand. He had powers no other pimp had. Oh fuck yeah, the pimp named Superhand. That motherfucker was super bad. Asking for dinner ain't asking for much. You had one job and still fucked it up. Sometimes you gotta learn respect. I use my pimp hand to correct. It's called a bitch slap, slap. Come get your face clapped.
Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.
Welcome back. Oh, hell to the no. We doing this, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. We technical difficulties already. I'm sorry. be changing my stuff around here. Here we go. Boom. See my junkie room. Y'all got to see my junkie room, man. I hope everybody doing all right tonight, man. I am your host. Let's talk with JVJ, man. Welcome back to another episode on the JVJ Network on Let's Talk with JVJ. Depending on whichever one you're watching on, just make sure you're hitting that like and that subscribe, sharing the videos, and turning them notices on for your boy. Look, I said I was gonna do this one, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it because we all know what tomorrow is. We all know what tomorrow is, y'all. It's election day, and I'm actually anticipating this, man. I'm over here like a little kid about to get some candy or something because I want to see what America's really talking about. I want to see what America's got going on. But tonight we're gonna cover some of these candidates. Well, these two candidates. We're gonna talk about the discussion, and we're actually gonna take a little outside view from what some of our fellow Americans are saying that actually went on and talked about these issues. Going to do a deep dive in at least one of them. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little biased because I don't like one person, but I don't like the other one either. I'm kind of in a race between two people I don't like, so it really comes down to who I don't like the most. You know what I mean? But we're gonna talk about a few things, and we're gonna see, man. I want to have a discussion. That's why I dropped the link in the chat for people to come up here a little bit later. But I'm gonna get through some of these videos. I at least got two of them to show you because we're actually gonna talk about who somebody is, then we're going to talk about tax plans, who actually the policy part, and then we can hear other people just talking, saying how they feel about things, because everybody feels a certain type of way about everything. But either way, though, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We're gonna jump into it, and y'all bear with me. Man, why is my look? I got to change the color and everything, man. My color's not blue. My color purple, pink and purple. It's in between pink and purple. It's probably pink. That's probably more people probably lean pink. But either way, though, we're gonna jump into it, man. I hope y'all ready to rock. Let's go ahead and get it, man. Donald Trump. Let's find out about this man.
His presidency has been described as one of the most consequential in U.S. history.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
Donald Trump came to power with the promise to make America great again.
The time for empty talk is over. Together, we will make America great again.
So after 4 years in office, has Trump delivered on his campaign promises? And how much will his handling of the pandemic impact his legacy? In many ways, his presidency is a once unimaginable scenario. On election week back in 2016, most major election forecasters predicted Hillary Clinton winning the election with a sweeping majority. The New York Times, the Upshot blog, gave Hillary Clinton a 91% chance of winning. The 538 gave Hillary Clinton a 71% chance. The Huffington Post had her at 98%. And the Princeton Election Consortium had Clinton winning at 99%. And then came the shock.
Pennsylvania goes to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the president of the United States.
The surprising win left many aghast. Donald Trump, the former reality TV show host, a New York City real estate developer, became the 45th president of the United States. 4 years on, President Donald Trump has been among the most controversial presidents in U.S. history, and just the third commander-in-chief to be impeached. His statements and responses to urgent political matters has made him dominate the news cycle more so than any other U.S. president.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime.
From the early days of his campaign, and even before clinching the Republican Party nomination, Donald Trump set the tone for a very different presidential candidate.
Crazy Bernie, crooked Hillary Clinton. I call him Lion Ted. I call him Little Marco, Little Marco.
He goes on the attack often, name-calling using unfiltered language, and his style in responding to those who criticize him has been divisive.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, baby, that's...
Hey, look, I'm pausing y'all right here, too, because, man, I know some people will be like, because I know a lot of Trump supporters will be on this, and I can feel you because I see it. Look, yeah, she using certain words to describe him. It's like, oh, his feelings got hurt, things like that. I understand. It's a little jab. The only thing I would tell everybody to ask themselves is, Is it a lie? That's all I can ask you to do. Like, is it a lie? We need to take our feelings out of this stuff and be like, is it real? But we know what the fuck she's doing. We know what she's doing. But is she lying about what she's saying? Let's just keep going.
That's what I said.
During his 4-year term, Trump had an uneasy relationship with the press, often calling them fake news.
And the media are among the most dishonest people anywhere at any time. But they can't stop us.
I'm running against the crooked media.
You're fake news. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
But Trump took pride in getting away with anything he said.
They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
While many have deemed his discourse as dangerous, Trump dumbed his language down, often denouncing political correctness as a big problem in America. Trump has called COVID-19 the Chinese virus and Kung flu. He called Kim Jong-un Rocket Man during a NATO summit at a period of heightened tensions between North Korea and the United States. Trump has also equated civil rights protesters in Charlottesville, Virginia with white nationalists and far-right extremists, initially blaming the clashes on both sides before condemning the violence. But beyond the headline-grabbing rhetoric, let's take a closer look at some of his policies and promises. Remember this?
We're going to build the wall. Mexico's going to pay for the wall.
As of October 2020, 597 kilometers of the border wall have been completed according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. But according to the Los Angeles Times, only a few miles were constructed in locations where no barrier previously existed. And Mexico has not ended up paying for the wall. Instead, the Trump administration has obtained more than $15 billion in federal funds for the wall. Trump also doubled down on another campaign promise.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and
Hold on. We ain't gonna move past that, man. Cause like I don't know where that went that everybody wanted. Like y'all do the MAGA, the super MAGA people. Cause it ain't just the average conservatives. Like we gotta be honest, man. There's a part of the Republican Party that are super MAGA, super Trumpers, and then there's the traditional conservatives. We gotta make sure we understand it. Just like in the Democratic Party, you have the progressives, then you have the super duper liberal motherfuckers, you know, and them weird motherfuckers. Like we got weird motherfuckers on both sides. Let's be real, man. We got a lot of weird people in America. But are the people that were the middle ground people, are they still riding with when he makes a promise that he keeps his promise? And I think a lot of people are going to make excuses to say, that's not about that. We're not talking about that right now. We're worrying about other things. But that was one of the big talking points when he ran the first time. He was going to build everybody a wall. And y'all didn't really get a wall. But let me see my boy Op said the extreme left and right. Yeah, man. The extreme left and the extreme right. We got them on both sides, so we got to be real about it. But I'm going to let it keep going. What's the other promise he promised?
complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
President Trump signed that executive order temporarily banning all refugees plus visitors from 7 majority Muslim countries. It set up protests at the airports and a flurry of legal challenges.
Within less than 100 days into his term, Trump signed an executive order that banned foreign nationals from 7 predominantly Muslim countries from entering the U.S. for 90 days. Although the first and second versions of what became known as the Muslim ban were struck down by federal judges, the Supreme Court upheld the third version of the policy in June 2018. And in 2020, the Trump administration added 6 more countries from Africa and Asia to the list, raising the total number of countries on the restricted travel list to 13. But the Muslim ban was only the start of a series of controversial decisions with overreaching impact. Just 3 months before COVID-19 began infecting people in China, the Trump administration ended a $200 million early warning program called PREDICT, designed to alert and identify potential pandemics. And once the pandemic began silently raging across the U.S., Trump's rhetoric didn't help.
The virus. They're working hard. Looks like by April, in theory, when it gets a little warmer, it miraculously goes away. I hope that's true. We have done an incredible job. We're going to continue. It's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
I'm speaking on that because a lot of people think that I don't like the guy because of this or for that. This is my main reason that I don't fuck with that dude. And I don't understand why a lot of Americans do. It's like when people speak about George Bush Sr., well, not Sr., but Jr., and it's like he lied about the weapons of mass destruction in Afghanistan, and we sent many of my brothers and sisters over there that die in another country over a lie just so we can get their oil. And if any of y'all think it's crazy that I'm saying that, I served in the Marine Corps and I was over there, so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. It was all bullshit. I think that motherfucker should be in jail, in prison for that shit. Same thing like when Trump lied about COVID. When this man knew that that shit was already in this country 3 months before he even acknowledged that it was real. And then he was running around telling people, you know, when the summer comes, it's just going to disappear. People act like that shit's a lie. When I know I bring it up to people all the time. They're like, no, you just saying stuff. Like, no, this motherfucker said it. He said it. And people believe what he says. And people are like, oh, no, they don't believe him like that. Man, these motherfuckers stormed the goddamn Capitol because the man told him he lost an election. Like, come on, man. Like, let's be real. This shit is dangerous. I believe that motherfucker should be in prison just for that. So that's one of the number one reasons that I will never support a motherfucker like that. You lied to the American public and multiple people died from that shit. Millions of people died from that shit. Regardless if some people say it ain't that bad or it wasn't this or whatever, millions of people fucking died. You can't take that away. So that's one of my big things. And Red said it was a cold. Hey, that was one hell of a cold, man. I ain't gonna bullshit. I caught that shit like 3 times, bro. That shit had me down. Felt like I got hit by a car. But let's keep going, man. I had to stop on that one, y'all. I'm passionate about that part. That's one reason I can't fuck with that dude, man.
Millions of Americans have been infected by COVID-19 and hundreds of thousands have lost their lives. The pandemic created an unprecedented public health crisis in the U.S. and it exposed cracks in the healthcare system of a world superpower. Hospitals were overwhelmed amid acute shortage of medical supplies, and scores of sick people who needed immediate treatment were not able to afford the cost of urgent healthcare support in dealing with the pandemic. The U.S. economy was in good shape prior to the pandemic. Unemployment was at a 50-year low in February 2020, and economic growth was steady. In January 2020, weeks before COVID-19 lockdowns, 68% of Americans were satisfied with the state of the economy, according to a Gallup poll. But by the peak of the lockdowns, the pandemic caused millions to lose their jobs and plunged the country into economic crisis. But experts say that the economy has shown positive signs of recovery since then. Another aspect that has marked the Trump presidency is his foreign policy adventures. When it comes to foreign policy, Trump made a series of landmark decisions. He abandoned the Iran nuclear deal, calling it the worst deal ever after accusing the Iranian regime of archiving its past nuclear weapons work and continuing to enrich uranium and develop ballistic missiles. And that's just the start. Other international treaties and agreements he withdrew from include the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a group of 12 Pacific Rim countries that took 7 years to establish. Then there's the Paris Agreement, an international climate accord that the U.S. signed under the Obama administration that aims to combat global warming. He also pulled the U.S. out of the United Nations Human Rights Council after they criticized his administration for separating children from their parents at the U.S.-Mexico border. He ended NAFTA, a trade pact linking the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. He announced a new bilateral agreement with Mexico known as the U.S.-Mexico Trade Agreement. Canada later announced that it would join the New Deal. The Trump administration has also halted U.S. contributions to the United Nations aid program for Palestinian refugees. The UN agency's aid includes providing health care to approximately 3 million Palestinians and education assistance to 500,000 Palestinian children. But Trump has also made new political ties. In June 2018, Trump became the first sitting U.S. president to meet a North Korean leader and to enter North Korean territory. After a period of mutual threats and insults, relations between the two leaders took an unexpected turn. Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un signed an agreement committing to work together to build a lasting and stable peace on the Korean peninsula. But
Man, y'all know what that is, man. That's just boys being boys. Man, y'all know what I'm talking about? Just boys being boys. Let's keep going.
2 years later, the negotiations have stalled, and on June 2020, the North Korean foreign minister said that prospects for peace between North and South Korea and the U.S. had faded away into a dark nightmare. Trump was also willing to turn the page on the past and make deals with the Taliban. The U.S. and Taliban signed a historic agreement in February 2020 in Qatar. The agreement set out a provisional timetable for the withdrawal of U.S. troops and foreign forces, and the start of Afghan-Taliban peace talks that would release thousands of Taliban prisoners. The agreement required the Taliban to reduce violence and break ties with al-Qaeda, but the agreement has not been working. The Afghan government accused the Taliban of carrying out thousands of attacks and killing hundreds of civilians since the agreement was signed. Another deal that got extensive media coverage was the long-awaited Middle East Plan, a proposal to solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that ignored the main demands of the Palestinians. The U.S. president hailed the deal.
We all know how that's going right now, right? Look, I want to make sure I make this known when it comes to the Palestinian-Israel conflict. Like, dude, it's really a Palestinian-Israel conflict. It's like people keep saying Hamas. They're just targeting Palestinians. Let's stop the cap. It's not my issue. It's not my problem. We got issues in America to deal with, but I'm not going to lie about the situation. Israel is trying to genocide them motherfuckers. Like, it is what it is. YouTube can get mad about me saying that. It is what it is. Our U.S. government can keep on funding Israel to do what they're doing. But it is what it is. It's kind of like Putin trying to take Ukraine, but except he's just not trying to wipe Ukraine off the map. He not trying to do that. That's the only difference. But yeah, I said my piece on that. Let's keep going.
Deal as the deal of the century, but the Palestinian Authority said it was not consulted and rejected the deal almost immediately. Trump also brokered an agreement that normalizes relations between Israel, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates. The accords were the first agreement between Israel and Arab states since 1994. Since taking office, Trump has been taking many steps to strengthen ties with Israel. He moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem despite criticism, and he withdrew the U.S. from the Iran deal. Then there's the impeachment.
Article 1 is adopted. Article 2 is adopted.
Donald Trump is the third U.S. president to be impeached. His impeachment came over allegations that he sought interference from Ukraine to boost his chances of re-election by digging up damaging information on his political rival Joe Biden and his son. The Democrat-held House of Representatives impeached him on 2 charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. But the Republican-held Senate acquitted Trump, ending the bid to remove him from office.
But this is what the end result is.
The Trump administration has survived turbulent events since its early days. From the Mueller report on Russian interference in the elections, to the impeachment trial, the Black Lives Matter movement and the social unrest that unfolded after, to the COVID-19 outbreak that wrecked the country's economy and health sector. And many of his staff at the White House have also fallen out with him. The exits of high-ranking officials in the Trump administration have surpassed all of his 5 predecessors. According to the Brookings Institute, President Trump's 8-team turnover was at 91% as of October 7, 2020. And some of those former staffers have not been kind to him or his legacy.
I am ashamed because I know what Mr. Trump is. He is a racist, he is a con man, and he is a cheat.
So, how will the Trump presidency be remembered?
All right, man. So look, quick breakdown on Trump. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. They ain't had one on Kamala. I couldn't find one. I was looking for one, man. Can we get a real breakdown on Kamala to see what they talking about? But I couldn't find one. So we gonna transition now that we got past that, and because I don't like that motherfucker. But we're gonna go to their policies, man, when it comes to taxes, because that's one big thing that a lot of people, like, once you become an adult and you know you're paying taxes, like every time you get paid, you know some taxes coming out of that. Every time you buy something, taxes coming out of that. It's like taxes. You really start to care about things when you were a kid that you didn't care about. So we're gonna cover that next. Let's see. Red said all the war hawks. Yeah, it was a lot of war hawks. Man, look, that's the crazy thing. When it comes to politicians, period, or anybody that's in the U.S. government, I think just when you join, you become a part of the U.S. government, no matter whether it's in a senator form, a governor form, military, like a service member form, or whatever. You're a war hawk. All of you are. That's one way or another. You're supporting a war here or there. Like, no matter what. The United States loves waging war. A lot of people don't think we're at war. Oh, we're not at war. We're in a lot of proxy wars. Do you not know that? Oh, by proxy, we're in this war. I know a lot of people don't understand the concept, but it's like, hey, we're not actually sending our soldiers over there to fight, but we're sending our resources over there to help them motherfuckers fight. So by proxy, we are at war. And we got a lot of people fighting a lot of wars. Man, people don't understand why we got so many bases all around the world. You'd be surprised, man. You land in the Middle East, there's a whole goddamn base right there. You be like, how the fuck? It's another base like 30 miles down the road, bitch. And you know that too? We all over the world. See, Red said, I hope this covers the proposed unrealized gains tax. Oh, yeah. We talking. Look, we're going to cover all that. And I'm glad that you said that, Red. I am glad you said that because starting off with the first video, I have you a black Republican that does taxes. He does taxes. And I'm going to try to take him at his word, even though I've already watched this and I disagree with this motherfucker because you'll see why I disagree with him after he gets done talking. But yeah, we're gonna go on to the next one. Let's go ahead and get to the next one. Matter of fact, we're making good time too. This is amazing. We're making great time. All right, here we go, y'all. Y'all ready? Let's get it.
Today, I'm going to break down the most important tax proposals that both Trump and Kamala Harris have made. If you want to know how the presidential election could potentially impact your tax situation, this is going to be the video for you. Let's dive in. Tax issue number 1. Capital gains taxes. Kamala Harris has made several proposals regarding capital gains taxes. The first one is that she wants to tax unrealized capital gains, but for the wealthy. The way that this tax would work is that families with over 100 million of wealth would owe an annual wealth tax of up to 25% that would include tax on unrealized capital gains. If you don't know what an unrealized capital gain is, it's a hypothetical profit that you could potentially make one day when you sell a capital asset in the future. They're called unrealized gains because they don't actually exist yet. So if Kamala Harris becomes president, then yes, you could potentially owe taxes on fictional profits. Welcome to Fantasyland. This proposal would only start out applying to the ultra wealthy, but many tax proposals that start out only applying to the wealthy end up applying to more and more people over time. So don't think that your unrealized capital gains will never be taxed if you aren't ultra wealthy, because if they get this policy approved, they could very well one day move that policy from 100 million to 1 million. Kamala Harris also wants to raise.
Not right there, because that is a good point. That is something that they are talking about. And I know that might get a lot of people shaking in their boots when it comes to their stocks that they have. I will point this out real quick. Majority of Americans don't actually have stocks. They're not actually trading in the NASDAQ or, the New York Stock Exchange. Most Americans aren't doing that. But I will say this. We're already doing that for average Americans that actually own homes. I'm not saying it's a good thing because I don't believe in more taxing people more. I actually believe they should use the money that they have right now that they've been taking from us because we didn't agree to it. I don't think anybody watching this agreed to any of the taxes that they're taking from us. I don't think we signed a piece of paper like, yeah, take my money. It's like, I don't think any of us did that. But we're already doing that in the sense of you buy a home. I'll give you a good analogy, and somebody can push back on it if they want to. But you buy a home, the property's valued at a certain price. Well, you own that property. You're sitting on that asset. And let's say they gentrify your neighborhood, the value of your shit goes up. You're still going to pay taxes, but now your taxes are going to go up because the value of this entire community went up. So it's like you got a stock, and it's like, oh, I bought it at this. I'm not going to sell it no time soon. But, they're valuing my stock at higher, so now my stock price is higher. You got to pay a tax on it being higher. They already do that. In another aspect. I'm not advocating for them to do it in more places. This would be a policy that I would disagree with her on. But if they could cap it at just the people that make the most, the wealthiest, the ultra rich, that'd be perfect. But he does have a good point when it comes to, if they started for them, then it's not that hard for them to do it for the average people. And that's thinking about taking. The government's going to take from you. Because when you think about giving, that ain't really trying to give, because Trump gave the rich a tax cut, and they still talking. He talking about right now. Matter of fact, y'all going to hear about it in a second. Y'all going to see what I'm talking about. But, I'm iffy on that one. But they already do that shit in other forms in society. But let's keep going. Matter of fact, let me read Red's comment. Red said, it also applies to inheritance over 100K, which means if you leave your child a house, they will have to sell the house just to pay the tax, depending on how much money else you leave them. You leaving somebody else, you probably got some money. But I agree. I'm 100% around. Like, look, if you pay taxes on something once, you shouldn't have to pay it again. I'm always gonna be for that. But both of these parties are gonna go for that. Man, look, don't get misconstrued, because I told you this guy's gonna be for the Trump side. They're gonna be for the same shit, man. These motherfuckers, they work together. But either way, though, I give it to him. Kamala's out front in front of this one. Let's keep going.
Is the long-term capital.
Oh, my bad. I got to read one more comment before I play it. I've said that's how they messed up the middle class. Yeah, that is true. That is how they messed it up. And then go back. Here we go.
This policy approved, they could very well one day move that policy from 100 million to $1 million. Kamala Harris also wants to raise the long-term capital gains rates from 20% to 28% for those making $1 million or more per year. As a part of this proposal, she would also raise the net investment income tax, or NIIT, from 3.8% to 5%. If this proposal became law, it would mean that the high earners would pay 33% on long-term capital gains, which would be the highest long-term capital gains tax rate since 1978 under the Jimmy Carter presidency. So if you're someone who likes to invest in real estate, stocks, bonds, even precious metals, or cryptocurrency, there's a very good chance that you'll be forced to pay significantly higher capital gains tax rates if Kamala Harris is elected, and if you're somebody that's making over $1 million. Okay.
Which is a very small percentage of the United States. I gotta say that. We gotta say that. Which is a very, like, we have conversations over here about relationships, like girls and guys and shit like that. And we talk about how majority of guys don't have kids. That's in the 40 range compared to like the 50-something, almost 60-something range for women. This is completely fucking different. And I argue that shit all goddamn day long. This is like 85% to the other 15%. This is even worse. So I'm like, man, most Americans do not have to worry about this, but it is the boogeyman. Like, woo, we're about to get you, motherfucker. We're about to take your money, and motherfucker, pay you up, bitch. Y'all rich. Shut that shit up. Let's see. Red said, sound like a good way to make billionaires put their money in other countries. Yeah, you can do that. They can do that, and they already been doing that. They've been doing that even before any of these tax shits came around. So let's be real. And see, I've said, they got people to think helping people is good while making them think they shouldn't help people. Both sides are evil. I agree with that. And Red said most of our tax revenue comes from the richest 10%. Not really in the grand scheme of things, you really break it down. Because it always comes down to like, what is the impact on you compared to what's the impact on them? You can talk about vast amounts in the grand scheme of things, but who does it hinder more? Like if you worth $1 million and I'm worth $1,000, and you get a $100,000 bill, 10% of your fucking earnings, and I get a what the fuck I said, it's like $100 bill, which is 10% of my earnings, it's gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you. But we can say it's fair, right? People got to get the concept down pat. Like, got to understand the difference in the two. It's not the same.
What about Trump? What has Trump said about capital gains rates? So far, Trump has not made any major tax proposals for capital gains taxes. So we can assume that he plans to keep them the same as they are for now. This would mean that unrealized capital gains would not be taxed, and long-term capital gains would likely stay at 0, 15, and 20%, where they're at now. But tax issue number 2 is corporate taxes. Kamala Harris wants to raise corporate income taxes from 21%, where they are now, to 28%. This means that if you have a corporation, then you could soon have to fork over an extra 7% of your profits to Uncle Sam if Kamala Harris is elected. There have been a number of celebrities, including Mark Cuban, that have come out and said that Kamala Harris is pro-business. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Forcing business owners to fork over an additional 7% of their profits doesn't actually scream pro-business to me. In fact,
let me stop. Let me stop. Motherfucker, like, are you just gonna gloss over that Trump lowered the tax rate for corporations in that big tax plan? Like, this is where I'm gonna say, like, dude, you full of shit. But I get you. You are giving correct information, but you're giving it in a way that is misleading, if that's the best way to put it. Because yes, the corporate tax rate is 21. Kamala says she wants to take it up. What he said, 26. Let me go back and see. What was it, 26 he said?
More taxes kind of screams the opposite to me. In fact, weighing business owners down with an addition to is corporate if Kamala Harris is elected.
Okay, yeah. 7%. She wants to raise it 7%. It was 30, what? I think it was 30 something before that. Trump lowered it. I think it was 34. Let's see, Miss Kim. Let me see your face real quick, like in the back, before I bring you up. Oh shit! I know who that is now. Man, Gary, y'all gotta stop changing y'all name. But hold up real quick, Lena. I got Lena in the building, y'all. Say hey, Lena. Say hey to everybody.
Hey, I am so happy. At least another black president, or almost black. Black enough. Black as we gonna get. I am so happy. I hope she wins. Yes, she can. The future is woman. I'm so happy. It's just that she's qualified. I hope that she wins. Now, I'm not, I know this is the Men Network. It's not like if a man had a credential, I think he'd do a good job. We have very good male leaders. You know me, I'm very equal, but it's just so nice for once to see a president look similar to me. And it's not about looks.
Are you Indian? You Indian?
No, but she got black in it. She got a little bit. Like
No goddamn black in her.
She got 10-20%. It's enough.
Look, she might have something for mixed breeding or whatever the fuck them racist people like to call it, but she ain't black though. Like, we ain't gonna lie about
that. She black. She blackish.
Ish. She got the black look.
Yeah, she looks black.
Close enough. All right, hold up real quick before I let you talk a little bit more. Let's see. I said it really doesn't come from the richest, because the richest get the most tax cuts average, because the average person in total gets taxed the most, and everyday living business owners know how to save more than us. That is true. That's a good point. He also said she wants to raise it by 8%. Okay. He also said Lena Life Show, she okay with the structure. God damn.
How do you know my life is okay with destruction? I'm not in shambles. I'm just like the average person. You know? How
Jesus Christ. Red said, I don't know. I didn't know Lena was Irish and Indian.
I might be Irish. You never know. I have one white grandparent.
Don't buy into that bullshit. Look, but he got a point. He also said Candace did the whole family tree 0 black. And then Op said, I guess being black is like R&B music. Damn.
She black enough. We like near the same color. She black enough.
Oh, look at Lena. She got a head did a little bit. Not really. That's what I'm talking about.
I got the dress. I'm doing a dress thing.
Long hair don't care. I see you over there. You see, Red said the 2017 tax plan raised the yearly income to pay 0 taxes. That's cap. But either way, though, Lena, did you have any thoughts before I keep playing this? Because we got to get through this video first before we really start.
I want everyone to. My thoughts is go to the polls. I want everyone to vote. Tomorrow's the last day. Make your voice heard. Make your vote count. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, y'all, go out there and get the voting. Do it. All right, here we go.
There have been a number of celebrities, including Mark Cuban, that have come out and said that Kamala Harris is pro-business. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Forcing business owners to fork over an additional 7% of their profits doesn't actually scream pro-business to me. In fact, weighing business owners down with more taxes kind of screams the opposite. Let me know in the comments what you think. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has proposed lowering the corporate income tax rates from 21% to 20% and even down to 15% for companies that make their products in the United States. Trump was also the one who pushed to lower the corporate tax rate down from 35% to 21% in the first place. This change became law in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, which was passed during his presidency. So if you own a business or if you're thinking of starting one, you could potentially get to keep more of your profits if Trump is elected and his policies pass. Let's go to tax issue number 3, individual income tax rates. It is important to note that the individual income tax cuts that were established through the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, they're set to expire in 2025.
All right, hey, we're not going to gloss over that shit. We're not going to gloss over that. Why are they set to expire? That's what I want people to really understand, where this man's priorities are. Because I'm an advocate against this motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. I'm not an advocate for Harris, but I'm damn sure an advocate against Trump. Why are these tax cuts for middle-class people post-expire? Why are they about to expire? Because he prioritized the rich corporations and made their tax cut permanent. But then threw in the average Americans and said, just to the next presidency. We'll push you down the road and figure out if we want to keep that permanent. That's bullshit. For the people that sit out here and say that he cares about the average day motherfucker, he would have covered you first, then covering these billionaires. And obviously, it helps him too because, you know, he runs his golf courses and he has his business ventures and shit. But that was something that helped him more than it helped you. Self-serving, if you say so. But Lena, any thoughts on that?
Yes, I do. I didn't understand. You beat me to it. But yeah, those tax cuts. He he got caught telling his donors that he's gonna save them more money. You know, if you donate to his campaign, that the tax cuts he's about to give him is gonna be more than what they're donating or whatever to his campaign. So you know he's all for the rich. And then did you read Project 2025? It's talking about cutting overtime.
We ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that yet. Okay. We ain't talking about that yet. We'll just say that for later. Okay. But to Red's point, he said every tax plan has an expiration period. Red, why is the corporate tax rate, why does that not have an expiration? Because I see the laughing emoji. But the corporate tax rate does not have an expiration on it. It's only till Congress goes in there and changes it will it change. It doesn't run out. But I appreciate the laughter. We got Miss Jackson up in the building. She said Kamala is black. I had pics of her father. Hey, I need to see those because she ain't black. She opposite the same way they say Kamala want to impress her donors. Trump doing the same. And then Red said they vote to change it or keep it every cycle. Nah, this is not actually one of those. This is not one of those type of bills that you're thinking about. This is actually something that's written into law. It is the law. They don't go back and readdress the law unless they're trying to change the law. That's why you have things like amendments. This is actually set in stone, Red. It's not like the. It's like
set in the cycle. When they change is when they do the budget. Every so often they change them.
Yeah, he's thinking about like something like a spending budget. This has nothing to do with the spending budget. It's already set in law. They don't have to rehash this every time the spending budget comes up. It's a part of the spending budget, no matter what. Just like military defense, just like Homeland Security, the CIA, and all the money they got to spend for that shit, foreign aid, everything included. That it's a part of that. It's not something that they have to rehash. It's not a rehash type thing. What we're about to deal with coming up when it comes to the tax cut for the average middle class people, the people like us, that's something that has an expiration date on it. There's a difference between the two. And see, he also said, yes, it does. Look it up. I looked it up before already. Yeah, look, go look it up again. But either way, though, we're going to keep going because anybody that wants to go back and forth, the link is in the chat for you. But
this means that unless Congress votes to extend them, individual income taxes are set to increase for everybody come 2025. Kamala Harris has announced that she does not plan to raise individual income taxes for people making less than $400,000 per year. However, she has expressed support for President Biden's fiscal year 2025 budget proposal, which proposes increasing the top individual tax rate from 37% to 39.6%. So there is a very good chance that Kamala could attempt to raise individual income taxes for high earners if she is elected. Trump, on the other hand, wants to prevent the Individual Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that he created from expiring. He wants to make them permanent so that tens and millions of Americans can continue to pay these lower tax rates that he established. Now, here's tax issue number 4, taxes on tips. Kamala Harris proposed eliminating taxes on tips for hospitality and service workers. This could potentially have a tremendous tax-reducing effect for tipped workers. I mean, think about how many tipped workers there are in the United States. Trump also supports eliminating taxes on tips. And in fact, he was the first one to propose this idea, and Kamala Harris copied the idea and proposed it several weeks after Trump proposed it. So you happen to be a tipped worker, such as a busboy, maid, waiter, waitress, bartender, caddy. you know what I'm talking about, there's a very good chance that you could be saving a lot of money in taxes, regardless of who wins this election. If taxes on tips are eliminated, it could result in a sizable increase in demand for hospitality and service workers. It could also lead to changes in the way that employers decide to pay their employees, and some employers may choose to try to increase the portion of employee wages that come from tips compared to hourly pay from the employer. This could get interesting. Now, here's taxes.
We need to talk about that. Why were people that were getting tipped even being taxed? Because I don't think people truly understand where tipping came from when it pertains to America. Because like tipping was something that was done overseas.
Oh.
Yeah, but when it came to America, they made black people work without having to pay them and told them that they work for tips. So this seems like that was something that was racist from the get-go that's still been going on. You taxing people's tips nowadays, still to this day, you taxing their tips?
Now, I thought Trump was doing away with overtime. Now, she was saying no tax on tips. Was that Trump's idea? Because I could have sworn that Trump took away, he wanted to take away overtime pay.
Nah, he has a provision, or at least he's been talking about, because he's mentioned it a couple times, that he doesn't want to tax overtime pay. Like you work overtime, you get paid time and a half, saying that shouldn't be taxed. Him and Kamala agree on that.
Yeah, but I just heard though he's also, even though he's made provision not where you're not taxing overtime, they're also kind of getting rid of overtime.
Man, they ain't gonna, look, they're not gonna get rid of overtime for industries that actually are in demand, like other jobs, like working at a fast food restaurant, or maybe working at working a cashier at Walmart. Yeah, your overtime might get capped out, but for the vast people that's actually producing the most, the overtime ain't gonna go away, because we always need people to work in those jobs. Like, United States don't stop. A lot of people, like, how they say about New York, it's a city that never sleeps. Majority of them people ain't out there just having fun 24/7. It's pretty much people out there working 24/7. So I don't know no other way to tell you. To be honest with you, they're both for cutting taxes on tips, like taking that away and taking away taxing on overtime, which I think is a good policy for both of them. But he did try to throw in that little slick insult. She piggybacked his proposal. If it's a good proposal, it's a good proposal, and I can guarantee it didn't come from fucking Trump. So I'm like, I don't know what the problem is with that one. But Red said Trump said no tax on tips in May. Then Kamala started saying it in August. If it's a good policy, it's a good policy. Like, I don't think
she has to compete.
I just think I think it's dumb the way the politics do. Like, if one side says they want this and the other side has to automatically disagree. If it's a good policy, it's a good policy. I'm for it. Right. He gets a point for that one. No overtime, no tax on overtime. Because I get a lot of overtime. So I would love for that to actually be in place. Stop taxing my fucking overtime. I can make probably about $300, $400 more dollars. I'm cool with that. I get overtime every week, no matter what. I work in overtime. The motherfucker be like, yeah, I work 40 hours this week, bitch. I don't know how long I fucking work this week, because it's automatically gonna be overtime, no matter what. Either way, though, fucking Red said overtime taxes are so ridiculous. I agree, and I don't even look at my pay stub most of the time. I check it like once a month, and when I look at them taxes, I be like, God damn, Red, let me see your face in the back real quick, like, before I bring you up. All right, gotcha. Boom. We got Red up in the building. Red, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself real quick, like, before we keep playing the video. Say what's up to the people.
I'm Red Illusion. You already know what the fuck going on. I'm not voting this year, but I would prefer if Trump wins.
No, how do you prefer Trump wins? What has he done for you?
I'm gonna leave a period of time in here so we can have open discussions for why, who's gonna vote for who, but not right now. But here we go. We're gonna keep playing the video real quick, and once again, to everybody that's watching, It's an open panel for you to come up if you want to discuss it. We're going to get through this last video. Well, this is not the last video, but if I get enough people in here by then, we'll start the conversation. Otherwise, I got a little bit of something else to show you because I want to snap on something, but I probably need to save that video for later. But either way, though, let's keep going.
Issue number 5, Social Security taxes. Kamala Harris has yet to announce any significant changes to Social Security taxes. Trump has announced that he wants to eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits. So, if you happen to be disabled or elderly, you qualify for Social Security benefits, then you could soon not have to pay any more taxes on your Social Security benefits if Trump is elected and if this proposal becomes law. I never understood how we pay into Social Security and then later on in life, a percentage of our Social Security, depending on our income, is still taxed. Never made sense to me. So I like this proposal. Here's tax issue number 6, overtime pay. Kamala Harris has yet to make any tax proposals related to overtime pay. Donald Trump has proposed eliminating taxes on overtime pay. He made this proposal shortly after the debate with Kamala Harris and argued that eliminating taxes on overtime pay could help to incentivize people to work for longer hours, which would be
They both agreed on that policy, but you know, let's keep going.
beneficial to both
When does
themselves and
Kamala
to the
say that?
companies that they work.
You just gotta check her like last couple of rallies and shit. She spoke on this already.
It's not in their policies on mine.
Man, look, man, yeah, it ain't. It's a lot of things that's not in their policies. Like we can be real about that. Like they don't write everything that they put pretty much the cliff notes that they think everybody wants to hear.
Well, don't you think that would be a
Let me
good thing
come
to
back
write
in.
down?
Yeah, you would think if that's like your calling card. I would think like if that's your golden ticket, yeah. But if you got other things that are more important, probably not.
Well, it really is, because their whole thing is like fairness and whatnot and opportunity economy. And the most people who are working overtime are not billionaires and millionaires. They work for themselves. So this is a direct tax benefit for the people in the working class.
Yeah, look, I agree that it's for the masses. I do agree with that. It would affect more people. But that's neither here nor there. Let's see. I've said the reason Trump could win is because he's sneaking in policies that Democrats should have, but the Democrats act like they care about all Americans. And that I ain't.
Yeah,
gonna hold you on
Trump
that.
is a Democrat.
And look, originally he was. I think he ran as Republican.
No,
because he knew
he's
he'd get elected.
dude. He has the exact same policies of like Bill Clinton.
And not all of them. But Bill Clinton ain't really like the. I'm gonna be honest. Bill Clinton is not like the standard in my honest opinion.
Well, he was in the '90s. That was the
Yeah,
Democratic
he
Party.
was before people found out what he did, like what he actually was in there doing. And I ain't talking about getting toppy. That's the least of my worries.
Oh yeah,
That's the least of my
flying to
worries.
that island.
Yeah, he did a lot of other things that I ain't really cool with. But I forgot, man. Look, we got Miss Alexis from Texas up in the building. What's up, Miss Lady? Say hey to the people. Alexis, we can't hear you. Turn that mic on. We still can't hear you. Turn your mic on.
Is that actually her?
Yeah, that's Alexis. She the only one with that Pat Mahomes sitting in the locker room like he Michael Jordan after he won the championship. She the only one that got that. Alexis, we can't hear you. Go look, check your settings and shit. Check your settings. You might have to go out and come back in. I don't know, but check your settings and make sure your microphone's set up. But just yell at me. Just yell at me when you think you got it going. See, Op said, I miss Clinton, LOL. Even though some Republicans diss him, they know he was a good president.
He was.
And he was good. He was good for the economy. Say something.
Better
again.
than Bush. Better than Obama.
Nah, I ain't gonna say better than Obama, but he was better than Bush. Say something again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Say what's up to the people, girl.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy. She a Texas girl. Any thoughts so far before I finish this video up?
Nah. I just want to see the rest of the video while I'm making.
All right, bet. See, Op said, at least you being honest, Red. And then PA in the building. Shout out to PA, Texas. He said, what up? I voted Harris. I just don't like Trump because he don't think much of black folks. His cabinet was full of old white mofos and honkies. Trump go and fix the dead ferret on Trump go fix the old dead ferret on your head. All right,
sounds like a real informed voter.
Hey man, hey, that shit a little funny.
That does sound like a real informed voter that said he ain't do nothing for black folks, but he the reason why he was signing a lot of checks for a lot of HBCUs. And then on the side, you got somebody over here acting like they black. If they ain't, I don't know how you figure she gonna do anything. She directly said she wasn't doing anything or planned on doing anything for.
No, she did. Wait, she actually did. You remember she released her policies.
Red, y'all on the same side, just so you understand what she was saying. She was agreeing with a lot of your.
I know. I just like to add something. You remember Kamala?
You trying to punch down?
No, Kamala. I'm not punching on her. I'm just adding. Kamala released her policies for black men on Twitter, right? And one of them was legalizing weed. So that's what she thinks of y'all.
Man, look, I ain't gonna hold her. I don't like it. I think that's bullshit. But yeah, I agree with you. There's some bullshit. What the fuck is that?
She playing in race politics like Democrats have always played. Like they always played. And I ain't even gonna lie. I voted for Obama the first time because I felt like I wanted to be a part of getting the first one in the door. But since we got the first one in the door, I ain't playing this shit with these other motherfuckers.
But she ain't black. She ain't black, so you ain't gotta worry about that.
She's not. But then I don't appreciate Obama acting like he's scolding black man. Like, who is you? Matter of fact, where's your daddy at?
Hold on. I want you to speak for us, but I want you to wait till after I get done with this.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, you're right.
Hey, look, I know y'all already, man. I love it. Hey, look, we're gonna have a good discussion tonight because I think everybody might. I think it's gonna be interesting. But either way, though, well, let's keep playing this bitch real quick. Like,
work for. Love this one. Tax issue number 7, tariffs. Kamala Harris has mostly been critical of tariffs and that they are effectively a sales tax on American households. Trump, on the other hand, has proposed placing a 10 to 20% baseline tariff on all goods imported into America and 60% on all goods imported from China. Speaking about his tariffs policy, he said other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world, and the tariffs will be substantial. Trump has long been a proponent of tariffs, and he used them extensively during his presidency. Presumably, this is because they help to protect American companies, which are not subject to tariffs, and because they give him, as a president, more non-military negotiating power with other nations. This is key. In fact, Trump likes tariffs so much that he even reportedly floated the idea of replacing federal income taxes entirely with tariffs. Tariffs provided a massive portion of the tax revenue in America before both the IRS and income taxes existed. Before I break down the last point,
I have to explain this because that motherfucker is a bold-faced ass fucking liar. That was a straight lie. That is not how tariffs work at all.
Yes, that's exactly how they work.
That is not how tariffs work. The United States of America, the companies don't pay. Like, China's not getting punished for these tariffs. They're not.
Of course they are. They're in a trade surplus with us. Right now they're in a trade surplus with us. How?
I'm explaining how tariffs work because a lot of people don't know how this shit works. China has a product that they want to sell. They sell it at the price they want to sell it at. But for the companies in America that buy that product, they have to pay the tariff. China doesn't pay the tariff. The American company has to pay it to import it into America. So what do the companies in America do when they have to pay a higher price for a product? They pass that shit on to you. That's why the price of all the goods
or they buy domestically.
Okay, but guess what? China's not paying the cost of that. It's the American.
Yes, they are. They are paying the cost. I'm about to explain it. So if you're right about the first part, the companies do have to pay more if they want Chinese goods. So they will see other options. Like if it's a 60% tariff on China, they'll look for another country. Optimally, if they don't want to pay any tariffs, they'll buy domestically in the United States. And if they're doing that, that means that China is not selling their product to us. And China, by the way, has tariffs on us right now. China has had huge tariffs on us this entire time.
Yeah, I agree. But see, the problem is, Red, I get your part. I get your part of it. It will punish China in the long run if United States companies decide to not buy Chinese products. The problem that you're dealing with is that shit ain't happening. They still buying Chinese products and they're just raising the price for Americans. The tariffs have
Because
not
these
worked.
companies, because the companies are based in China and they're based in Mexico.
No,
and so
no,
those
Red,
companies,
Red. I'm talking about companies like U.S. Steel. We buy a lot of our steel from China. We buy a lot of our grain from China.
yeah.
These companies,
And you know
these
what?
farms,
Once
they're
upon a
still
time,
buying it. They're still
once
buying
upon
it,
a
Red.
time, okay, but once upon a time, America was exporting steel. We
That's
had our
fine.
own
That's
steel.
fine.
We weren't getting it from anywhere else. That is a
agree.
better thing
I
for
agree.
America.
I agree, Red.
So you
but guess
support
what?
tariffs.
No, I don't support tariffs because it makes you got to understand if you want to get to a certain place in society, we need to actually do it the right way. The American government should incentivize companies in America producing these products that we buy from overseas, which means actually putting money into that instead of trying to tariff these motherfuckers where they still have to
Well,
buy their product.
that's how you do it.
That's
how
not
you
how you do
incentivize it.
No, that's not how you do it. You don't have to put tariffs on them. You're wasting fucking money. You're wasting time, effort, and money doing that because the
You're
people
actually
that have-
getting money by doing that.
You're actually not getting money. The American public they're still gonna have to pay the higher taxes. We're the ones who pay it. The product's gonna cost more because we're subsidizing what the companies buy. You say keep putting tariffs on it, and then what? So China stops selling to us and the companies stop buying it from them? The tariffs are not stopping them. It's not stopping them, Red. That's the thing I'm trying
It's
to tell you.
disincentivizing them. It doesn't.
It's
It's not a one thing, dude. It's not a like, oh, you flip a switch and they stop buying from China. It's a long overhaul of U.S.
Red.
manufacturing.
The only way is going
The lack of tariffs that we've had with the NAFTA agreement and whatnot is the reason why all the U.S. manufacturing jobs left.
No, the United States manufacturing jobs left because Americans decided they didn't want to manufacture anymore and they wanted to be consumers.
No, dude.
That's
No, it's
that
because
happened.
of NAFTA.
No, it's not because of NAFTA. Americans got lazy. And we wanted to outsource all these jobs to get products for cheap. We didn't want to work them hard jobs no
Because
more.
they didn't have tariffs. Because you can't compete with slave labor.
Exactly. That's why we outsourced it.
That's why we need tariffs, because we don't want American slave labor, right? So
Rick,
if we want to stop people, you can't compete with China when they have slaves making iPhones. So you put a tariff on the iPhones to make us compete.
Look, all the United States government has to do is actually do the same thing they've done for many of different industries. They did it for the banking industry. They did it for the auto industry. If there's a company,
Oh yeah, and how did that turn out? How did that turn out for the auto industry?
Well,
Is it doing better now?
Yeah, they're back.
No,
They're back.
well, no,
They're
it's not.
selling
No, they're
cars
not.
like they used to. No, look,
Exactly.
They're not selling cars like
They're
they
in
used to because
Mexico.
they're trying to-
Ford's in Mexico. Chrysler's in Mexico. They're going to Canada.
Rick,
They're getting their shit from China.
I gotta finish this point real quick. Like, give me 1 second. When it comes to the tariff part, you think that pushing it onto the American citizens are eventually gonna get the US companies to stop buying from China? That's bullshit, because if the American public will pay a price for something, think about it. Just think about COVID. When COVID happened, the price of everything went up. Americans were still paying those higher prices. So once COVID went away, did those prices come down? Fuck no. They kept them right where they were because they knew, oh, if they're not being able to work and it's harder time for them, we raise the price and they're buying it. Why would we drop the price when they got the money?
No,
these companies are gonna
COVID wasn't about tariffs or taxes. It was about energy prices, and
I'm
energy
not talking
prices
about
are still
COVID.
high.
I'm not talking about energy. I'm talking about the specific problem when it comes to the tariffs, because if American citizens will pay for the higher priced goods in spite of the tariffs, that defeats the whole purpose of the tariff. It doesn't punish China because China's going to continue to keep exporting the same amount of goods because they're selling them because the American
Okay,
public
so
is getting the cost
how come
passed on
how
them
come
and
they
they're still
how
buying
come
it.
how come their surplus shrank during Trump? How come during William McKinley in the late 1800s, when he first introduced the tariffs, the United States had a golden age of manufacturing? How did that happen? Was it just a coincidence?
Did the United States have a golden age of manufacturing underneath Trump?
It was better than Obama.
No, I'm asking you. No, the fuck it wasn't. What the fuck? We only got
By what metric?
We can do economic comparisons.
No, I'm talking about manufacturing. I'm talking about manufacturing plants,
We can talk about
manufacturing jobs.
manufacturing. Okay, then are you going? Hey, if that's the case, are you going to give? And I really want to get through the video, but are you going to give Joe Biden props for manufacturing now?
Did he bring manufacturing back to the United States?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
No, I think those statistics are because he reopened the economy because it was shut down. He didn't create new manufacturing plants. They've been leaving for the past decade.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move the goalposts. All right. Well, here you go. Hold that thought. Let me read a couple of these comments real quick, and then we're gonna go back to the video. But good discussion. See, I've said we ended up paying those fees because China is cheaper than American-made products. He also said Republicans actually are the biggest capitalists, and they send jobs overseas and hire more illegal immigrants. They do hire a lot of illegal immigrants, and they preach against it. CPA said China just started buying food from other countries like Argentina, bankrupting farms that have been in business since the Civil War, and China came in and bought the farms to avoid the tariffs. Yeah, they are doing that backdoor. They are doing that backdoor going through Mexico and shit.
Yeah, that needs to be stopped too. They shouldn't be buying American farmland.
And either way, Mexican shit. But let's see. Well,
they're buying our farmland too.
Yeah, that's the United States government allowing that. Let's see. I've also said the market didn't slump under Trump; it stayed the same or actually went up. We kept buying from China. Yeah, that is true. We were buying a lot,
even though we had high tariffs.
No. That was before he started doing all tariffs. Trump was selling tires out of China too.
Dude,
man.
he put the tariffs in his first year.
He was still fucking making shit and buying shit out of China. Like the motherfucker wasn't against China. He was just talking.
Okay, but a tariff doesn't mean you stop buying everything from China.
It didn't fucking affect China. That's the whole point. I keep trying to tell you that the American.
It's not about affecting China. It's about affecting us and getting our manufacturing back on its feet.
Red, what's the point of the tariff if they're still gonna buy from the same people, no matter if?
Well, first of all, the point of the tariff is fairness because China has super high tariffs on our shit that goes there.
Red, they're still buying it.
I know.
You're getting.
I know, but it's not fair.
It's not bringing manufacturing back. They're still buying the same fucking product. They're not producing.
Let's simplify this because you really don't understand. Let's simplify this. Let's say you have a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. We both recommend people to subscribe to each other's YouTube channels. All right. I give you 100 subscribers a month. You give me 100 subscribers a month. But then for a couple months, you give me 100 subscribers for a month, and I give you 10. Is that fair?
Red, that's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're.
That's literally what it is.
No, the United States is mad that they have a trade imbalance because the United States is more dependent on China when it comes to their goods.
And we don't have equal tariffs.
That's not China's fucking fault. That's the United States fault.
It's our fault. It's our fault because we don't have equal tariffs.
But guess what? The response to that issue is not putting tariffs on China. So our United States
reciprocating the tariffs that they have on us.
But it's punishing your citizens.
What's punishing our citizens is evaporating our entire manufacturing class. That's what's punishing our citizens in the long run.
If the United States government was actually smart, they would take that money and invest it in actually funding these companies to build in the United States of America. Instead, they
but if you do that, if you fund that, they're just going to take that money and buy the product from China because there's no tariff on it.
So we're in a circular argument then.
No, the argument is if you have a tariff, at least an equal tariff that China has on us, there can be a reciprocal trade agreement.
Okay, Red. Hey, with that being said, Trump did those. How did that turn out for America?
Manufacturing facilities were starting to be
No.
built back.
No,
They were
No.
until COVID.
dude, sure. Tell COVID. So we're just gonna. I got Miss Jackson up in here. I want to get Miss Jackson real quick, like before we finish this fucking video, and then we can have a conversation. Miss Jackson, say what's up to everybody real quick, like for me.
Hey, good evening, y'all. Glad to be here with y'all. You know, big day tomorrow. We all ready to rock and see what the results going to be. Just real quick, would like to say I went to Kamala Harris rally Saturday in Atlanta. Great speakers, you know, it was real good. She had a good campaign, you know, so, and I guess if you can see me, I have my endorsement on, you know, sticker Harrison Waltz. And Jay, I just want to let you know, I did send you the pic. Check your Facebook, the Facebook.
I saw that. Look, her dad's not black. He's not black.
I know a black man when I see him. Y'all do the research and the facts. He is a black man. I'm black. I know
Judge
somebody
Joe
black
Brown
when I
was
see
Indian
him.
and
Not
Irish.
black. I guess we're not black.
He's not black. He's not black.
He's
He's
not.
not black.
Absolutely not.
He's
Hey, you
not
know a
black.
black person when you see him. So, I mean, come on now. You didn't see that big ass afro. The man's darker than me. What
No,
you
You ever
talking
seen
about?
an Indian person? You ever seen a Southern Indian person?
Yeah.
He's Indian. He's Indian. He's not
Well,
black.
it's like this. It's like this, dog. You know, you got Jamaicans, you got Africans, Haitians, you have different nationalities. But at the end of the day, we have the same culture rooted from Africa. We're black.
No, she's from
No,
South India.
Well, her father was
And
born
plus,
in
and plus
Jamaica.
you're voting based on
Her
what
father-
somebody looks like.
Her
That shows you how
father was
informed
not
you are.
born in South India.
Oh,
He
he'll
was
take
born
it.
in
You are-
Jamaica.
But you
Okay,
are
look.
aware
Yeah,
that
and he
there are
has
white
he has
folks that
two
are
Indian
born in
grandparents.
Africa.
Hold on.
That don't
Hey,
make
look,
them
hold on
black.
real quick. Hold on real quick. Like, I do want to get through the rest of this video, but to this point, yes, he was born in Jamaica, but Elon Musk was also born in South Africa.
Thank you.
Oh, he's black.
Her father name is Donald J. Harris. Just research it.
And he's
That's fine,
Indian.
that's fine,
He
that's
wrote
fine.
about his Indian heritage. He wrote a whole book about it. Look it up.
Yeah. Like,
Well, I know a black man when I see one, Red. I'm black.
And I guess I don't know a black man because I'm black.
Look, there's
Well,
a lot
well,
of melanin. There's a lot of melanin in a lot of people, but when it comes to black, Indian, whatever, they are on the side of Indian. They're not. She's
Well,
not
then you
black.
see he got Negro hair just like you.
Indians,
You black?
there are
Oh,
a lot
girl
of-
said.
So do Indians. So do Aboriginal
There-
people.
There
Well,
are Indians
okay.
that have,
And some Jews,
like,
to be honest.
yeah, he's not. Look, he's not black. Her dad was not black. He was
Man,
just
that's a
born in
black
Jamaica.
man. But anyway, I'm gonna let
Either
y'all
way, though.
finish the video. But I sent over the pics. I ain't gonna go off
I'm
into
sorry.
it.
I'm
But
sorry.
hey,
I'm sorry.
okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
I got you. I got you.
All
Look,
right.
Let's
That really shows the political discourse in America when we're arguing over
Yeah.
who's black and not. And
He
not the
damn
actual
sure ain't
policy.
white.
I mean, look, he ain't white. He definitely ain't white. But either way, though, we're done with who her daddy is right now. We'll come back to that. But we're gonna finish this guy bias points about the tax cut because he is a little biased. And see,
What did he say that was wrong?
A few things, but I forgot already. But we can rehash it later. Let's see. PA said Trump's lying ass said that he was a 2.6 golf handicap, and then I said it's not our culture because he looked like us. All right, we're disregarding everything. We're gonna keep going. Let's keep going.
Make sure you sign up for my tax-free wealth challenge if you want to learn how to cut your tax bill by 50 to 100%, regardless of
Nobody
who
wants
wins
your
this
shit,
election.
nigga.
This link is in the description, and we kick off soon. Love to see you there. All right, tax issue number 8, the startup expense deduction. Kamala Harris wants to increase the startup expense deduction from $5,000 to $50,000. This means that people who are forming a new business would be able to write off a larger amount of the costs that go into forming a business. At first glance, this might look like it's extremely beneficial for business owners. However, we have to keep in mind that she also wants to raise corporate taxes by 7%. So yes, this would make it easier for many people to start a business. But once your business becomes successful, Kamala will come for a huge percentage of your profits through corporate tax hikes. Trump has not made any tax proposals regarding.
How does he say that when it's 21 and she wants to raise it to 28? a huge, like, come on, man.
Startup expenses. Now, it's time to answer a question about Kamala's tax plan from a subscriber on my YouTube channel. This question was asked on one of my recent videos called Tax Expert Breaks Down Kamala Harris's Tax Plan video. If you haven't seen that one yet, what are you doing? Go click on that video. I broke that one down. It's pretty awesome. But the question which came in from Mall Mason 9834 was, can you claim unrealized capital losses under this plan? And the answer is Kamala Harris has done very few interviews where she elaborates on her tax proposals in depth. But as far as we can tell right now, her wealth tax proposal only includes taxes on unrealized capital gains and does not include tax refunds or deductions for unrealized capital losses, which honestly seems a little unfair to me. Now, I know this election is coming up right around the corner, so I hope that this video will help to give you some more insight that can help you understand where each candidate stands on critical tax issues.
All right. He pretty much done. He was doing his last little spiel. I'm gonna let y'all give me your thoughts. First come, first serve, because I got one more person to show you before I really want to get into like the open discussion. But if y'all got any thoughts right now, go ahead and let me know what you're talking about. Anybody? All right, nobody. Perfect. Let's go to the next video, because I'm gonna show you somebody that is not biased about what they're about the tax plans. We're gonna take the nonsense out, but I had to give one because I did the Trump video in the very beginning, so I had to give Trump one on this one. But let me read PA comment. He said, "This nigga just eloquent. This nigga just eloquent and wrong. Dumbass. Usual hide their moronic brain with speaking, with good speaking and communication." Yeah, he did a lot of stretching of the truth. But either way though, I got this Asian guy right here, y'all. And he just gonna shoot it straight up. So let's shoot it straight up. As a matter of fact, let me speed it up so we can get through it quick. I'm gonna put that shit at 1.5. Nah, not 1.5. That'd be too fast. 1.25. All right, let's check it.
In today's video, we will compare Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, their economic plans. So I'm going to tell you from the start that this video is not going to be political. I'm not going to give you my opinion. I'm simply going to tell you what they're saying. I'm not going to say whether it's a good idea, bad idea, realistic or unrealistic. If you want those opinions, feel free to read the comments down below. I'm sure you'll find them there. So I'm doing this video because I read the comments. This was highly requested. I hope this information, this summary, helps you understand what each candidate is proposing. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to focus on their economic policies, their plans that deal with money and finances. So I'm going to cover their plans on income taxes, lowering inflation, affordable housing, Social Security, prescription drug pricing, international trade deals, and illegal immigration. So for the immigration part, you'll see how that ties in with money and finances. Okay, so let's start off with this. Here's something that Harris and Trump both agree upon. No federal income taxes on tips. So no taxes on tipped income. So whether you like the idea or not, well, I would say too bad, because they're both going to be pushing for it. Of course, we don't know how hard or how seriously that they're going to be advocating for this, but here's what they're saying. So Trump floated this idea first: no federal income taxes or Social Security taxes or Medicare taxes on tipped income. So he first said this in June in Las Vegas, and then Kamala Harris said the same thing. And then Trump accused Harris of copying him. So that's how it went down. Those are the facts. Those are not opinions. There are approximately 4 million Americans in tipped occupations where the bulk of their compensation comes from tips. But just so you know, the president cannot enact this with an executive order. This would require congressional approval. Now let's move on to inflation. So fighting inflation or reducing.
Everybody need to think about that. Like, remember, they saying they want to do it. It can only happen through an act of Congress. It can only happen through an act of Congress. So somebody saying they want to do this, that's neither here nor there. All right, just talking points.
Inflation. Both Trump and Harris say that they want to address the rising prices of everyday cost of living. So they have each provided different ways of lowering inflation. Harris says that she's going to place a federal ban on price gouging. She says that in her first 100 days, she will pass a national ban on price gouging for food and groceries. So the plan is to give the Federal Trade Commission and prosecutors the authority to go after companies that are believed to be involved in price gouging or price fixing. Now, here's what Trump is saying. He's saying that he's going to sign an executive order on his first day to fight inflation. So Trump said, and I quote, "I will use every tool and authority at my disposal to defeat inflation and to bring consumer prices down rapidly." So Trump said, and I quote, You just watch. They'll come down and they'll come down fast. So Trump says that his strategy is going to be two-pronged. One, it's to eliminate regulation that is costly and overburdensome. And two, boost oil and gas production. So Trump said, and I quote, "We're going to drill, baby, drill. That's going to bring down prices of everything." Now let's move on to affordable housing. And we're going to start with Harris. And what she wants to do, I would summarize it up in 5 bullet points. So the first thing is that she wants to give $25,000 to first-time home buyers to help with their down payments. So this will be for people that have paid their rent on time for 2 years. And number 2, give a $10,000 tax credit to first-time home buyers. Number 3, increase home building by providing a first-ever tax incentive for builders that build starter homes. So the homes must be sold to first-time home buyers. So as you can see, there's a lot of benefits for first-time home buyers. Number 4, expand tax incentives to home builders that build affordable rental housing units. And number 5, repurpose some federal land to build affordable housing. Okay, so here's what Trump is proposing at the moment, and this is more straightforward. So 3 main things. Number 1 is to cut unnecessary regulations that raise the price of housing. Number 2, reduce mortgage interest rates by slashing inflation. And number 3, open tracts of federal lands for housing construction. Now, moving on to income taxes.
Now we need to talk about that one. Which plan would you be more likely, and this for everybody real quick, which one would you be more likely to side with? The Trump plan or the Kamala plan? And y'all can go in any order. Everybody's on mute, so you got to unmute yourself if you want to say something. But just for anybody. Ms. Jackson, you go first.
Kamala, that's to help the young people where we can be homeowners. I don't know about y'all, but I would love to be a homeowner. And so I said she got the better plan on that, better policy.
All right. Miss, I would say Miss Alexa, I'm going to girls last. Red, what's your thoughts?
Well, I don't know. I think I'm pretty neutral on this one because we all know both politicians can say a lot of things, but given the track record of all the presidents since 2000, doesn't necessarily mean it's actually going to happen. Now, this $25,000 Kamala thing, I'm not too happy about because that just means people who are selling their houses are just going to make them $25,000 more expensive. But I'm pretty neutral. I don't have a side on this.
All right, Miss Alexis, are you there? I know you're watching the Chiefs game right now. She might not be there. All right, she ain't there. Either way, we're going to move on to the next one.
So Trump, well, if you remember, made major changes to the tax code in 2017. This was the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. So there were major changes to individual income taxes as well as corporate taxes. So the bulk of these tax changes will expire at the end of 2025. So some have already started to wind down, so they call it phasing out, and some have just completely expired already. So Trump is saying that he's not going to allow these tax cuts to expire, that he's going to renew them, well, obviously because these were his tax cuts. But not only that, he's also saying that he's going to further cut taxes for people of all incomes as well as businesses. So Trump said, and I quote, "To get economic relief to workers and families, we will make additional tax cuts. That's what gave us the great economy. We'll make tax cuts additionally, and we'll make them permanent." Okay, so if you think about it, the tax rules that we have right now, they're from Trump, and he's just saying that he's gonna do more. He's gonna do more tax cuts. But one of the bigger changes that Trump is proposing is making Social Security income tax-free. So currently, Social Security income is tax-free if you make less than $25,000 as an individual or $32,000 as married filing jointly. So if you make more than that, then Social Security income is taxable income. So those exemption amounts, I mean, they're so low because they don't get adjusted for inflation. Now, of course, that's unfair to Social Security recipients, but that's just the way it is. Now, Kamala Harris is saying that she will not raise taxes on anyone making under $400,000 a year. So Harris says that she will expand the child tax credits from the current $2,000 per child per year to as much as $3,600 a child per year. Provide a child tax credit up to $6,000 for newborns. And expand the earned income tax credits, or the EITC. So this would cut taxes for lower income families by, so it's estimated to be about $1,250 on average each year. Now, I'm going to tell you one proposal by Trump and another one by Harris. So we're going to start with Trump. So this is one-sided, where I'm not going to say anything about Harris on this issue because Harris hasn't said anything about this issue. So this is regarding international trade. Okay, so Trump says that he will add a tariff of at least 10% on all imports from all countries. So more recently, he's saying that it could be as high as 20% all across the board. So Trump says that he wants an additional tariff on Chinese imports that could be as high as 60%. So Trump said, and I quote, "We're going to have 10 to 20% tariffs on foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years." So essentially, this means that if certain goods or services are imported to the US, then there will be an additional tax on those and they're going to cost more. So this is generally done to protect or promote your domestic industries. So Trump says that these new tariffs will bring back jobs and raise revenue for the USA. Now, let me tell you what Harris is saying about lowering drug prices and healthcare. So Harris wants to cancel medical debt for millions of Americans, remove medical debt from credit reports, accelerate the negotiations with big pharmaceutical companies to lower costs for Medicare, and expand the $35 monthly cap on out-of-pocket costs for insulin and so this is the $2,000 annual limits on out-of-pocket costs for prescription drugs by making this for all Americans, not just for Medicare. And we're going to end with this one. This is illegal immigration. So I'm bringing this one up because it makes an impact on the US economy. Even the Federal Reserve cites the impact of undocumented workers and the BLS in their economic reports. So we're going to start with Trump. So Trump says that a stricter immigration policy will create a stronger US economy. Trump argues that illegal aliens reduce wages for everyone and takes jobs from native-born Americans. So Trump says that he's going to do a crackdown that could involve mass deportations, detention camps, and the expansion of the border wall. So Trump said, and I quote, "I would not rule out anything. We're not leaving them in the country. We're bringing them out." Okay, so Kamala Harris is now giving a stricter stance against illegal immigration. So Harris is flip-flopping on the border wall. So this is just one example. So this is not an opinion, this is a fact. Harris once said that the border wall was un-American, but now Harris says that she pledges to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on expanding the wall. Okay, but Harris has a much softer stance than Trump. Harris opposes family separation and opposes mass deportations. Okay, so that's your summary of Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, their economic policies. Please let me know your opinion. I look forward to reading your comments. Please subscribe.
All right. So we got somebody that's a little bit more, I would say, fair in the sense of not being a little bit biased. Say it again.
It was a good analysis.
Yeah, like he just gave you the information, and that's what I like compared to the last guy, because I could tell that he was throwing in his own little points. So when it comes to the policies and the issues that are on the board, on the table, it really comes down to you watching that and being like, okay, well, I agree with this, I agree with that. There were some things that I agree with Trump on. There are some things that I agree with Kamala on. And I think most Americans would be that way. But I want to get y'all opinion. Matter of fact, yeah, Miss Jackson, you go first. Gotta unmute yourself real quick. Were there any policies that you agree with Trump on?
No, I just seen that going for the white supremacists. But first, I want to say this to be clear. Like I was saying earlier, I did attend Kamala's campaign, and there was a senator there of a certain county, of the county we was in, and he made a great point, and I totally agree with him that this race is a little unique and odd and different from past history, simply because the overall estimation picture is not really about policies or parties or not even politics. This situation is so odd and down to the point, it really boils down to character. You see what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, you got a lot of Republicans, and I mean loyal Republicans, that has voted for the opposite candidate because of Trump's dangerous character. So, I understand the policies is very important, but for me personally, and I think the main solution and point that everybody should understand and get, that in this particular race, it's about character. Who has the best character to lead, in the state that our country is in. But to answer your question, so I agree with Kamala's. All of her policies make sense. Anytime I could save a dime, saving money, I'm all for it. I'm not rich. I'm the common man. And, hey, we struggle. We have to work to live and pay our bills and rent. So I'm all for saving money. Now, when it comes to the immigration, hey, I ain't mad if, to me, the immigration is out of control. It is a serious problem when you got your own American citizens struggling, but all these immigrants can come over here and get, our businesses, the grants, our benefits, and, we struggling to get a 9 to 5 at McDonald's. So when it comes to the immigration law, hey, I ain't mad about it.
So once again, there was not one policy that Trump had that you agree with.
So when it came to the tax credit, he had a policy on the tax credit for the children. Was that one you was talking about?
He had something on tips. There wasn't anything specific to kids that that Obadi talked about, but he had some things when it came to the taxes.
Said that he has said that before, and he does want a tax credit for.
Well, I'm just talking about
family.
Just in the video,
Oh, okay.
just in the video, not nothing else. So we heard on the outside, but in that video, he didn't say anything about kids.
So he did mention about waitresses, and they make money off their tips, and so that way they wouldn't have to pay taxes on that. I believe is what he was talking about.
No taxes on tips. That was one of his. That's why I asked: is there anything that Trump said that the guy put out there on display that you did agree with?
Well,
you Kamala, so I want to ask the opposite side of each.
Right, I got you. Well, that definitely makes sense, because I've been a waiter myself. I know what it's like to make money in your earnings off tips, and that only makes sense. You make way less above minimum wage, and yes, out of your extra cash, or whatnot, you do have to report taxes on that. So yeah, that's only fair and square, and I do agree with it.
Okay, bet. I'm gonna go to Red real quick, because I know Red is a Trumper. So I was about to call you Trump. Red, is there anything on the Kamala side that you agree with?
Good question. Again, just because they say something doesn't mean it's true, or it doesn't mean that they're going to actually push for it. But I do like the canceling of medical debt. We all know, however, that the big pharma industry has a huge stranglehold in the lobbying groups in Washington, D.C., so I doubt that'll ever get through. But if she can, that would be one thing I would agree with. Medical debt is crippling us.
I agree with that. Miss Alexis, are you there? Or are you watching our Chiefs dominate?
My bad. Look, my brother called me from the game, man. He had the people in the stands. He was like, "This my sister. She been from Texas," and they all waving to me. Okay, I'm gonna back out being a fangirl. But so
either way, it switched. On either one of the parties, since I don't know which way you're leaning. Are there things that you agree with what Kamala's proposing, and do you also agree with some things that Trump is proposing?
From the video, the only thing that I agree with as far as Kamala is the fact that the child tax credit, because I got 2 kids. Yeah.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So I take a little extra, especially with me doing my Amazon thing, and I gotta pay taxes on them items. So that little will help. You feel me? But then and Trump, I like what he was talking about his, because if you do tax cut, regardless, it does trickle down. So either way, doing some type of cuts or offering something on that tax subject is kind of beneficial either way that it goes. But I mean, I'm not on here for feelings, and I'm not on here for character, and I'm not voting on nobody on that. And I just wanted to make a comment on Ms. Jackson that there's some Democrats that are leaning for Trump. Kennedy is one of them. So just because
also Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, so just because there's some Republicans leaning Democrat, there's some Democrats leaning Republic. So it's all the same thing. From that video, it just furthermore put me in a position to why I'm kind of like in the middle, but not, because I'm damn sure not voting for Harris. I'm damn sure not voting for Harris. I'm just not.
Well,
there definitely is a different line drawn in the sand this time.
Real quick before y'all go. I do want to use that to transition. Alexa just said that she's damn sure not voting for Harris. I want to get Miss. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to you first, Red. I want to get Red. Red, who are you gonna vote for if you were to vote? Because I know some people ain't gonna vote. I'm not voting, y'all. So I'll let y'all know I'm impartial in this shit. But if I was to vote, I wouldn't vote for neither one of them motherfuckers. But Red, if you were to vote, who would you vote for and why? And then I'm gonna go to you, Miss Jackson, next, and get your answer too.
Well, like I said, I'm not voting. I'm waiting until I'm 25, so I get over that draft age. But I would prefer if Trump wins. And with all this, all these proposed policies and plans, they all say things and then do the exact opposite. I can only go by what I lived through and what I experienced. And under the Trump administration, according to IRS data, the average American who is making between $15,000 and $50,000 a year got an average tax cut of about 16 to 20%. Judging that against the last 4 years, which was Joe Biden, it wasn't Kamala Harris, to be fair, but Kamala Harris did say she wouldn't do anything different than Joe Biden. They asked her, "Is there anything you would do differently than Biden?" And she said, "Nothing comes to mind." So I don't want more of the same. I'd like 2018, 2019 back.
Well, I do have to ask you this question, just to see if you understand it. How long does it take for a presidential policy to actually take effect?
It depends on the policy, whether or not it can be enacted through executive order, through Congress, through the Senate.
I'm just talking about in general. In general.
I don't know, man. It depends. If we're talking about economic policies, usually that has to go through the legislative branch of the Congress. And we all know if Trump is in office, we know this from before. Trump has usually a pretty good recommendation.
I'm not focused just on Trump. I'm just saying, like, for economic policy, because you actually hit on the one I'm thinking about. How long does it take for a policy that went through the House and the Senate and then got passed into law for it actually for people to actually see the benefits of the policy?
Which policy were you thinking of?
It's not a specific one. I'm just saying in general, like an economic policy that was passed. How long does it take for the American public to actually see it?
It depends, dude. Is it immigration? Is it tariffs? Is it taxes? If it's tariffs,
I'm just talking about money, economic money. I'm not talking about the benefits that come off.
I can't give you a yes or no answer. If it's tariffs, yes, Trump can do that on day one. If it's taxes, it has to go through Congress. If it's the border,
the effects.
He's saying the effects. So, like the stimulus,
not the policy passing.
The stimulus.
So the effects of all these things is what you're talking about. Well, it would usually take between 6 to 24 months, so between a half year to 2 years.
Okay, I just want to get them answer. All right, now to Ms. Jackson. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you voted already. If not, you're voting tomorrow. But tell the people who you voting for and why.
Well, Jay, you know my situation, and we've been over that. But yes, I did my part to support and endorse Miss Kamala Harris. And why is about integrity? It's about justice. It's about equality. I would trust my life more in her hands than a lunatic who killed plenty of people. People put people's lives in jeopardy, and make it real clear he don't give a damn about you, especially if you're black. So, I'm going to support my black sister to the fullest, and we'll see what tomorrow brings.
That's what I'm talking. Look, you crack me up and start calling that lady black.
I know an afro when I see one. Shit, I know nigga hell. Hell, I got nigga hell.
Her hair shredded in a motherfucker. She's talking about nigga head.
Look, I ain't gonna hold you. But I just gotta speak truth over here on my side. Like, you believe what you want to believe on that one, but
Haitian Jamaican is all the same.
Hey, look, once again, I gotta hit you with this one, Ms. Jackson. I ain't trying to be mean. So Elon Musk is black.
I don't know. I have no idea who that is. I'm talking about Donald J. Harris.
You don't know who Elon Musk is?
I've never seen
the richest man in the world.
That says a lot. That says a lot, Jay.
I've seen Donald J. Harris, who is Kamala Harris' father, and I'm talking about him in particular.
Do you know who Donald J. Harris's parents are?
That's who I'm talking about, Alexis.
Do you know who Donald J. Harris's parents are?
And I haven't seen his parents. No.
They're not black.
Okay, well, his
he has
father
an
is
afro.
Irish and his
He
mother
has an
is
afro, and that does not come
Jews
from a
have
European
afros.
descendant. That don't come from a European descendant. But hey, look, Kamala and I don't have to prove her nationality to nobody. I have to speak my opinion. I have a free will and a free right to do
you're the
that.
one saying
Just like
she's
you
black.
spoke yours, so I spoke mine.
But your opinion is that she's black. Okay.
And well, not just that. I have the facts. I seen the man. Just Google it. Just Google it.
Oh my goodness! Did she say just Google?
Guess what?
Just
Do you know what
Google it.
Donald Harris
Have
is
you
doing
seen-
right now? Do you know what he's doing right now? Hold on. This is
know
very
who
important. Donald J. Harris is hiding himself right now. Isn't that interesting? Because when he's hiding himself right now, and you would think, first black woman president, he'd be out in the open cheering her on. But no, he's written several letters denouncing her because she's made fun of her heritage. In one interview, Kamala said, I'm Jamaican, so of course I smoke weed. I'm a Rastafarian. Of course I support legalization. Donald J. Harris wrote a whole letter condemning her, saying she's disrespecting her actual Indian heritage.
Well, he does not be there with her. He hadn't been on the scene on the picture, along with the family or whatever. I've noticed that. All I'm talking about, listen, I'm a logical thinker, and if it don't make sense, it ain't true. Okay, it's just common damn sense to me. Okay, that if I look at a person, I'm black, I'm African American, born black, gonna die black. So I know a black person when I see one. And when they had niggified like mine and nap up like mine, that's just common sense. It's the same descent. It's the same descent down, man.
Nah, I really dislike Miss Jackson keeps saying that just because she black, she know a black person, and it's clear that she does not know a black person. She keeps.
So what are you saying? So what are you saying?
She does know black people. She locked up.
Hold on. Let me ask Lex a question. So you saying he has straight hair like a Caucasian person?
His daughter has straight hair, but his parents are not black. And just because you're Jamaican doesn't mean that you're black. And so the fact that
it's the same descendant. You got Jamaicans, you got Africans. We're Africans. We're all the same damn descendant.
Dude, there's white people in Jamaica. There's Spanish people in Jamaica. There's a large Indian population.
Red, but the fact that she said I'm an intelligent person and you don't even know who Elon Musk
Girl, you don't even know that we are the same descendants because Jamaican, Haitian, African, we're all the same damn descendants. At the end of the day, we're black.
That's nationality, not ethnicity.
That's what I'm saying. But she's saying that she's intelligent. You just voting for her.
First of all, I didn't say that, sweetheart. You're putting words in my mouth. I said I'm looking at the facts.
You're not thinking. No, you can't have facts and thinking logical if you see a black person or a person that you think is black and think that they're black.
Well, I asked you one simple question. I asked you a question. I said, is his hair? If you'll answer the question, is his hair straight like a Caucasian's? That's what I'm asking you.
No, it's not.
Okay, then.
So if his hair is not straight, then he must be black.
I didn't say he was African American when I used the term black. Duh. I'm just saying in general, as a whole.
He's black just because his hair isn't straight.
Listen, ma'am. What I'm saying in detail, I've worked with Jamaicans and Africans and
Kamala off of feelings, and that's all. That's fine. Just say that, but don't try to make a case.
No. I've worked with. I have Jamaican friends. I grew up with African friends and people. You have people from Brazil. You have people from.
You got to say one of the biggest racist talking points to try to say that I got Jamaican friends. And what does that mean? Nothing at all.
What I'm telling you is, if you'll allow me to finish my point, and there you have people from Brazil, in different areas of the country, but they have black are descendants. There are same male and skin color. Hold up, let me finish. There are same male and skin color, and they have our same hair texture, but they're not black or African American.
Have our same hair texture. You know why? Because the slave trade was going down through a lot of them countries.
My point exactly. And he falls. So now you hit it on the head.
No, he's
And
not.
he falls in that descendant.
Actually, no. There is no descendant
Okay,
of African
next
in
we
Donald
gonna
J.
move
Harris.
on to the next
Hold on, no.
subject.
Oh, of
Because
course
it's
you wanna
really
move on.
irrelevant. Like I said, it's about
very
character
relevant.
over
It's very relevant
policies.
because it's very relevant because you're the one bringing up appearance and what their skin looks like and what that means about their
I
descendants.
responded to
If
a
Donald
comment
J. Harris-
Jay made. I responded to a comment that Jay made. That's how that whole topic came up.
Okay, well, you're standing on the fact that she's black, but the truth of the matter is she doesn't have any African ancestors, but she does
Well, I
have
tell you what, Red,
slave-owning
I don't give a
Irish
damn if she was
ancestors.
green, if she was yellow, or if she was red. But I tell you what, I trust her
Well, you
to run
obviously
this
do.
country and be chief and commander better than a damn lunatic who needs to be in an insane asylum. Did you not hear how Liz Cheney,
Well, I
he
would-
made the comment that she needs to be
And
shot?
who's Liz Cheney? Yes,
And
she
look,
does. Liz
she
Cheney
was
is
a
warhawk.
Republican who voted for Kamala. That's who Liz Cheney is. Just like his own administrator, John Kelly.
So you're supporting John Kelly and Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney, the people
And
who
they
put us
are
in the Iraq War,
Republicans.
the biggest
They're
warhawks?
Republicans, Red, who's voted for Kamala.
Yes,
So
exactly.
what does that
and they're
tell
bad
you?
people.
So
They're
what
the
does
worst
that tell you?
Republicans. Hold on.
Well, they ain't the only one.
Donald, hold on. See the Republicans that are coming to the Democrat side? They are the worst Republicans. Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney, John
You don't
Kelly.
make no
And look,
sense.
and now look at so they're the good Republicans. Okay. And now look at the Democrats that are going to Trump's side. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., very moderate, good people.
Everybody, red. Hold up real quick. Like, I got Bean in here. I want to get Bean in here, but I'm going to show this one thing real quick. Like, Miss Jackson, I want you to hear it from the horse's mouth. The reason that a lot of them are saying what they're saying to you is because it came out of her own fucking mouth. So I'm going to show you the video. I'm just show it to you. I just want you to see it. And then we can move on to the next topic. All right.
Go free, Habibi.
Here we go.
Hi, I wanted to come into the kitchen already. You live here. Are you stressed for me? Oh my god, you do have a taste of. Oh my, you have no idea.
Screen it. Can you full screen it?
This is so funny. I told my.
Nah, this is how Instagram is, man. I can't do nothing about this shit, man. It's just gonna look like that, yeah.
My dad was like bringing over the stuff from the store. He's like, obviously, I put them in Taster's Choice. That's literally how my mother kept all of this stuff. It's so funny. What is that? Do they tell each other? Hi guys, it's Mindy. I'm here in my kitchen, and today we are cooking. We have a very special guest. Very special. Senator Kamala Harris. Hi guys. Wait, so here's what I want to know. Okay. Is it respectful to call? I should be calling you Senator Harris, right?
No, you should not. That's not on my birth certificate.
Okay.
Call
Kamala?
Yes, please.
Okay, because the Indian in me, I feel like my parents,
Just
my
don't
dad
call
will
me-
watch this.
Don't call me auntie.
Okay, I won't call you auntie. They'll be like, how could you call her by her first name? She's worked so hard. Okay, so what we're going to cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, you know, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like our thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So we're both Indian,
Yes.
but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank you.
You do.
I've been telling people
You
we're
do.
related already, so
Yeah.
this is perfect. It's basically true. And so were you raised eating?
Do I? So can we not have to argue that no more?
She is Indian. She's mixed. Her mother is Indian. Man, y'all need to do y'all research. Her mother is Indian.
She went from black
Her-
to mixed.
She's mixed. I was talking about her father, not her mother. She's a biracial woman. What's your point? What's your point? What's your point?
Listen.
Man.
Hold up real quick. I told you, everybody, we're not doing emotions tonight. It is political time, but we're not doing that. Her dad is Indian and Irish. Her mother is Indian. She is not black.
Her father
It's not
has a black descent. Now, everybody entitled to their own opinion,
got
but
some
I
black
know
in
a
them.
No,
black
this
person
isn't about
when I
opinion.
see one.
Who's the
Evidently,
descendant?
you don't.
Who's the black descendant?
No, I don't care about the black descendant. Everybody has black in them because guess what? Black man was the first man. So that's fine and dandy. That's not saying nothing.
Okay.
Technically, Technically, by the
Well,
way,
his
they was bringing it
nationality.
right now.
So I answered that question 1,000 times. I'm gonna say this for the
Nationality.
fifth
This
time.
isn't about
His
nationality. It's about
nationality is
race.
not of African American. I never said that.
Came from America. That term black.
That's right.
black
That's
people,
right. We're
that's not
African.
Yeah,
I
but
ain't
he's
saying that
not
either.
African. But he's not.
What I'm saying is that term black is something that was placed upon us, like the term negro, which is Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. That's
you know what
right.
I mean? Like that.
Go ahead, Bean in here. Bean, go ahead and give me your thoughts so far, man. I know you voting for the dark side. Go ahead, tell the people what's up.
Oh man, at this point, as much as my phone has been harassed and these motherfuckers have been door to door and all this shit, I don't give a fuck about either one of them at this point.
Hey, you down there in Florida, man. You know they got a canvas, man. That mean they going out there putting out the word.
No, man, this is harassment. You putting mailers in my mailbox telling me how many times I done voted. You texting me how many times I done voted. You calling me out the blue.
All the political texts, dude, the texts are getting so ridiculous. And you can't reply to them because they'll charge you.
If you got a payphone.
I ain't even got a payphone. It says text now, reply.
I don't.
But
you get charged. You get charged if you reply back to those messages.
I don't know.
Because like some people, depending on the text message,
I'm just wondering.
it'll be
about
like,
Red.
oh,
Do you
Trump.
be paying
Because
them
I
fees?
get text. No, I don't pay nothing, but I get the text. It's like from 88601, and it'll be like, oh, don't you remember how bad it was under Trump? And I text back like, not. That's the crazy thing. All the black celebrities, Sexy Red, Cardi B, they're all coming out of the woodwork. Beyonce, and they're reading off their phones
Yeah.
for Kamala.
I
Hey,
think
they
it's
trying
because
to. They getting a business deal off
because-
them indictments.
It's because they're afraid of Diddy.
Yeah, that's what I said. Off them indictments. Yeah, they trying to get in coops.
I'll be honest with y'all. I haven't got any.
Oh, they
of them
want
goddamn
pardons.
things.
That's what you mean. They looking for pardons.
I haven't got any.
Did
of
you
them
see
things.
the video that LeBron James posted? LeBron James posted like straight up propaganda, and he could be sued for it. Honestly,
Look, what I want is Bean to give me his thoughts real quick. That's what I want. So, Bean, you have the floor.
My thoughts on this is coming from a guardian standpoint or a protector for my family. So my standpoint on this is this. I don't give a shit about either one of them, but I know whoever do or don't win, the other side gonna start some shit. I already know it. So
Well,
and that's
see,
what
I
I'm
have a
preparing
question
for.
on that. I have a question on that one because I was having a conversation with my coworker earlier today, and he made that exact same statement. I want to know where's the proof, or at least where's the like.
It's
You know, you
already
gotta
on
have
the
a bullet.
news. They've
No, I'm
already
saying you gotta have
activated.
real quick. I just want to know where's the bullet point of it happening before when it came from the left of like they lost an election and then they did something. Where's that at?
2016.
The roles have reversed. The roles have reversed this time. Everybody that you
I'm
saw
just saying-
driving around with Trump flags that you saw in 2016 are now driving around with Kamala and what's that motherfucker name?
Waltz.
The motherfucker that can't even hold a gun.
Waltz.
Right
Waltz. They doing it
Yeah,
down.
him.
They doing it down there in Florida.
he couldn't
That-
even
you seen that down there in
load a
Florida?
shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, but regardless of him loading the shotgun, they doing that down there.
You know
in
how?
Florida right now?
You know how they had the golf carts and all that stuff that said
Yeah.
Trump back in 2016. Well, now they say Harris. That's what they're doing
Okay,
now.
so
So it's
they doing
changed. It's flipped.
Okay. All right,
So
they are
now
doing
you
it
don't
down
really
there.
have to worry about the MAGA no more.
Thanks for
I don't know what
population.
they're gonna say what the Democrats are gonna be, but the Democrats are turning to MAGA.
All right, here you go. I want to make a point off of that one. So they are doing that down there in Florida. I want to ask a quick question around the panel.
Are they
because
doing it
we are
everywhere?
No, here you go. I want to ask a question around the panel because we got a lot of people up here from different areas of the United States. So, Miss Jackson, first, have you seen people like that in your area in Georgia?
Well, not necessarily. I'm not sure in my area, but just looking at CNN, ABC Worldwide News, and the coverage.
No. I just want to know in your area, because Bean was giving an example of what he's seeing down there in Florida.
That's what I can drive down the road right now and show you some crazy
I'm not
shit.
knocking. No. I'm not knocking you because I've seen it too on the news down there in Florida. Now I want to ask Ms. Jackson, in Georgia, where you stay, have you seen something like that?
If they flipped over, not to my knowledge, most of them are Democrats.
Okay. Red, have you seen any of that in your area? Because I know you up north.
This is very interesting. So I'm in Detroit, and I have never seen so many Trump signs in Detroit. It's insane.
Okay, so you got the opposite. And for Miss Alexis, you're out there in Texas. Have you seen anything like that, at least on the Democrat side? Because that's what I'm really shooting for.
What happened?
Have you seen, Bean said down there in Florida, he's seen, and I ain't gonna knock him because I saw it too, people riding around with a bunch of Harris wall signs and shit, like on their vehicles, kind of like how Trump them people were doing, riding down the interstate with big flags. Have you seen that out there in Texas?
I'm gonna be honest with you, because you know what I'm saying, Florida is like our cousin that we like when we hook up, but then it's that same cousin, like they get too much and we be like, God damn, man, I like chilling with you, but damn, that's how Florida is with us in Texas. Nah, Texas ain't going no shit like that. Texas ain't nobody flipping in Texas. There's some Harris here and there, just like there was some Biden here and there when the first election came. But no, this is a red state. Ain't none of that bullshit going on. The good old boys, they stand out. I'm out in the country. They sit out on the corner with the merchandise, with Trump flags and everything. So,
and I see both sides of that. It's both of those here. So when it ain't the good old boys no more. It's the 75-year-old grandma with the van who got her homegirl with her. They got their homegirl with they got their homegirl that's on the scooter, and they all dressed in blue. You know what I'm saying? Look up.
Notice how we all said girls.
Yeah, you look at the villages. Type in the villages, Florida. Look up the Harris protest. You'll see these people in there running people over with golf carts, bro. Like driving through people's property. Like,
that's because Florida's the destination for all these wealthy white liberal women to move to.
It's not even just liberals, man. That's
the great
Florida's just a shitty ass state now. Like, if you really want to get down to it,
I wouldn't say that.
Nah, I would. Like, look,
why would you say that?
It's better than Mississippi. It's better than a lot of other states, but when it comes down to, like, Florida's supposed to be the beacon of the East Coast, because Florida's supposed to be like the California of the East Coast. It's kind of going downhill. Nah, not no more. It's kind of going downhill, like the reputation that it has from people from. And I was born in Florida, so I guess I'm talking about myself.
You can't say that, bro, because you ain't here.
I'm saying, but I was born there.
I get that, but 30 years ago, and now two different times, big dog.
Yeah. Kamala Harris' dad was born in Jamaica. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Jay? What are you talking about?
Hey, hold on.
He has an afro.
Accusations. These are not accusations. This is false accusations. And
just gotta throw that in there real quick, like. Just gotta throw that in there real quick, like. But besides that, like, look, I live in Alabama right now, and I don't see that. Like, a lot of this energy that I've been seeing that they promote on social media, all these different news networks about the candidates got this amount of energy and vigor behind them. That's not majority of the population. A lot of this shit is fucking put it in our face to make us think. It's kind of like, how people will see an artist or somebody that's connected to an athlete or some shit like that. Oh, they riding around in Rolls Royce and shit. They got all this jewelry on and shit. But in reality, it's like, man, that motherfucker broke as fuck.
Bro.
Even the polls have a slight bias because they're not reporting the data accurately. But it's strange in the polls right now.
As the polls is rolling on, we already see who getting Iowa, Michigan, and Pennsylvania.
Did you see that? What was it? NBC? What was the news channel? They already announced that Kamala Harris won. They accidentally released the election results too early.
Well, if it's a red or blue state, like, here you go. You can say it right now. The election's tomorrow, right? I know they took early voting or whatever and things like that, but let's say they can already call a state like Alabama. It's going red. I think we all agree
it was
that
Pennsylvania, so there was definitely some shenanigans involved. And there's already shenanigans going on here in Michigan. There was a Chinese guy who somehow voted, and they allowed his vote to count, and he shouldn't have been able to vote.
Red, I want you to understand something. The way that a lot of these news organizations do, they film a lot of this shit ahead of time, just in case. You know, like when there's an NBA championship or a Super Bowl.
What are the chances that they would film it in a swing state with Kamala winning?
They probably film both of them. It's just like when you have a Super Bowl or NBA championship, they print shirts and the news articles are already written before the game even happens.
That's true.
Like they
That's
film
true.
both sides.
Where I graduated from, we sent the shirts when we lost. We sent those shirts to Africa. We sent them to some mission actually.
They always send that shit.
That's hilarious. So some Africans wearing that shit right now.
Yeah, it's always some kid in Africa wearing fucking the Heat won in 2007.
No, you're right, because they actually did that with Hillary. Hillary had a bunch of merchandise for 2016 because all the polls said she was going to win.
You'll see some shit over there overseas. Like, these people spend so much money. They plan for both. They plan for both sides of it to happen. So
I tell people this: go watch Free State of Jones and then go vote. Go watch that movie with Matthew McConaughey. Free State of Jones. It's on Netflix. You can watch it right now.
And then I just want to say, hey, check this out. She does have new ideas. She will not run the office like Biden. Okay, I know the interview you're talking about on The View, where she said they asked her a question, you know, what would you do different or whatnot? And then she came out and said she definitely will have new ideas and different policies. Her policies ain't even the same as Biden's.
Like what? Like what? What's different?
When you go with the it's a whole lot that's different when you go with the
you can't answer that like her now. Come on.
Mm-hmm. No, it actually is a couple of things different when you go with the transgender thing. He didn't have no shit like that going on. Then when you go with the
yes he did. What are you talking about? We've been allowing those surgeries.
No. When he with the children and all that, if they have a right and a free will choice, he didn't do none of that. No, he did not. That's a new policy. He didn't
you're
do all
saying
that.
Kamala Harris is going to be more pro-transgender. That's the only thing she's going to do different.
Well, I didn't say that, but that was one. He didn't have that policy. And then also it was the
Time out. Pause. So did you see that MMA fighter that got her face crushed in by that dude? Did you see
Which
one?
The dude that was competing. The dude that was competing as a woman.
I'm about to just go ahead and say this and let's get this on out the way. Look, I don't have an issue with all this different transgender shit. The main reason I don't is because women are the ones advocating for it the loudest. So if that's the downfall of their sports, that shit is on fucking them. It's time that being stepped the fuck back and let motherfuckers make their own bed and fucking lie.
Bro, I'm all about gender equality, bro. For the simple fact,
you need to convince these motherfuckers.
We had Title 42.
If a woman can join the United States Army and go in the infantry, you got, by all means, that's the same job that a man can do. They can go through blood selection.
The whole reason that we created women's sports and different categories for women is because we understood that
I don't care.
Women need their own sport because they have a different physical advantage and they should have the same access to scholarships and whatnot.
Okay. Also, to answer your question, it was the reproductive rights. Biden didn't have all that going on, the reproductive rights and about the abortion, you know, Roe v. Wade and all that, blah, 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 blah. Biden didn't have, it was not in depth like hers.
Wait, no, that's a Supreme Court issue.
That didn't come up
One
the vote when they
person
were
at
in
a
office.
time. One person at a time. Bean, go ahead.
I'm not biased in it, but I'm just saying that was before that vote came up before them. It was just time to vote on that during his presidency. That's what that was about. He didn't bring that up. It was just this shit was on the docket. Like, you know, it was tabled till 23 when Roe v. Wade was reversed. That was when they had to vote on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna say something ahead of time when it comes to Harris and the difference between her and Biden. We will never know the difference between them two unless she's elected, because she's been the vice president. The Republicans can't go from one side in the very beginning before they knew that she would be the candidate to say that she.
Actually, I think we should take Harris by her own words, because she said she was in charge of this. She was in.
I'm trying, Red. I had to mute you, bro. I know you might still be talking, but I had to mute you. We need to be real when it comes to what the Republicans were saying in the beginning. Harris wasn't doing anything. She's the border czar. She's not doing shit. Trump said it out of his own mouth. So she can't magically go from doing fucking nothing while she's the vice president to once she just one day became the nominee for the Democratic Party to look at all the things she's done. You can't switch it like that. We got to be real. I'm cool with telling everybody I know this bitch ain't black, and there's a lot of things about her I don't like. But we got to be real about the right too. We got to be real about the right. She can't go from being the person that was labeled that she didn't do anything.
Wait a minute. Pause. So wait, when you say she is black, are you meaning like I got a white homeboy?
We're not Bean. We're not rehashing it. Hell no. We've been down that road. We done did it. We're not rehashing.
I ain't been down that road. I'm asking.
We're not going back. We're not going back.
It doesn't matter. She can be black, brown, purple. Who cares? But she said out of her own words, "I was the first person." No. I'm not going down it. I'm not. No. I'm moving it on, Jay. So she said she was the first person in the intelligence room during the Afghanistan withdrawal, and she was the last person to leave, which means she supported the entire Afghanistan withdrawal under Biden 100%.
That's fine. She's the vice president.
That's right. She did that as the vice president.
You're supposed to support whatever the president does. We will have problems in this country if you had your vice president going against what the president says. You know that. Everybody knows that.
But wait, JC.
Like Mike Pence?
I don't know why everybody thinks
that were made. She said that out of her own mouth. She was like, I was involved into a lot of decisions that were made. So when I judge you on how you're going to run the country versus how things have been going so far, I'm making an accurate judgment because you said that a lot of the decisions that was going on, you were right there by Biden's side helping with these decisions. So
I like that, Alexis. I like that you said that. And this is what I want all Americans to do. If we're going to hold her to that task, hold her to that standard, then Donald Trump gets more.
You talking about the Emperor's New Groove? That's what I call it.
I'm just saying, like, if we're going to hold her to saying that she was in the room, she was a part of these decisions, then the economic downfall of this country, he has to hold that, right?
He does, but I'm not. I can't talk about what.
I'm gonna go more. I can go more.
Talk about right now.
Yeah, I can. I'm cool.
Now you're doing whataboutism because we were just talking about Kamala Harris.
It's not a whataboutism. It's about if we're taking these people at their word for what they said, then we gotta take them at their word for what they said.
Well, Kamala just said that. She said what her policies was with the becoming a new buyers and new homeowners with the $25,000, credit, and with the child care, with about the $6,000. I mean, she just said what it was. Her policies were.
Wait, hold on. Do you really think she will cancel medical debt? Really? Come on.
That's what she's endorsing.
She couldn't even get through the loan.
Define stuff that she's saying. Because that $25,000 loan that you talking about,
that shit gonna be ate up in taxes.
It's just not that. And plus, I just
not only that, if you're selling your house and you know that Kamala's giving everyone this $25,000 loan, you're just going to make your house $25,000 more expensive.
That's for first time buyers. You got to listen. It's for first time buyers.
Do you know how that works?
look. I want to say that
Do you know how that works?
family, and I mean, I don't know what that got to do with this topic, but I'm gonna say it because that's all Harris said when they asked her a question that she was born in a middle class family. So was I. I don't know what the hell that supposed to mean. My middle class family, my mom and dad didn't buy no house. So I don't know why she keeps saying stuff like that. She never answers the question. So that's another reason why I can't trust it. Because why you talk about being born in the middle class? And,
You can't tell me shit.
She wasn't really in the middle class, maybe in Canada, but when she moved to San Francisco, she had plenty of beach houses sponsored by Willie Brown.
Man, look, and I
who was her supervisor?
Look, if something happened to Trump, I'm liking JD Vance because that's somebody that I can relate to off the strength. I can relate to JD Vance talking about his situation and what his
I come from a situation like that. I come from a broken home, a single mom. I come from that.
And drugs and all that. I can relate to him.
Well, she's come from a single home too. Her father didn't raise her; she was raised by her mother.
They were married and
they were divorced by the time she was 3 years old.
Everybody needs a trophy.
I'm just saying, the middle class home, that's her relation.
Look, I don't care about either one of the, their upbringings. That doesn't really matter to me in a sense because it really comes down to, can you relate to the people that you're going to be putting policy forth in front of them. JD Vance, I don't fuck with that dude at all because I think most ladies wouldn't want to fuck with him. He doesn't believe if you get raped, incest happens in your family, or your life is on the line.
Yes, he does. He's for all the exceptions. He said it on Joe Rogan. Stop lying.
He said those exceptions, bro. I heard
he got mommy issues.
I'm going to put it like this. They said he said it on Joe Rogan. Before he went on Joe Rogan, his stance and his big part in Project 2025 was completely against that. I can understand somebody.
No. JD Vance was not in 2025. What are you talking about?
JD Vance is Donald Trump's end to Project 2025.
Thank you.
Neither of them are associated with Project 2025.
They both gonna be used.
Just because this is where we're getting really off the rails because are we trusting what the politicians say or are we not trusting what the politician says?
Well, I'm more likely to trust a politician that's willing to sit down and have a 3-hour unscripted conversation.
Okay. So Red, you are with I believe what the politician says. Okay, Bean, are you with what the politician says?
That's not what I said.
I'm asking because it's a simple. I just need a simple yes or no. Do you believe what the politicians are saying, or do you disagree? You think they're
okay? Is everything a lie or is everything the truth? That's such a stupid question. It's a stupid question, dude. Stop.
I'm asking, do you believe them when they say what they're saying? And I'm saying politicians in general.
It depends on what they're saying.
So you pick and choose what you believe and what you don't believe.
Yes, I pick and choose based on the facts and evidence and prior record.
I got you, Red. Bean, do you believe what the politicians are saying, or are you with Red? You pick and choose what you believe they say. Bean is on you.
So
okay, is he back? Bean, you back?
So I put it like this.
I just need a yes or no.
She ain't black.
All right. Either way, though, do you believe what the politicians are saying, or do you pick and choose what you believe?
Do I pick and choose what bro? I don't believe a politician. Point blank period.
Okay, so you pick and choose.
I don't pick and choose either. I don't. Well, you know me.
It's
on
one of the
personal
two.
level.
It's one of the two.
I don't
It's
touch
one of the
shit.
two.
So
okay, but it's one of the two. Pick one of the two. Do you believe what they're saying, or do you pick and choose what you believe that they say?
No. It can't. You can't.
That's not a proper question.
That's too broad.
Yes, it is.
That's a broad question. You
No,
can't answer
here's what I
Nobody
do.
can answer
I
Red,
verify.
Red. I already got your answer. I need to get beans. I need to get
that.
beans because I need
And
to go
I'm
to
getting,
Mr.
I'm
Jackson
giving
and
you
I
a
need to go to.
response of that is a broad question. You can't just say that's like saying get the red truck with bad brakes or get the blue car with bad gas. Hop in, start it up, and drive down the road.
Now,
You'll
that's
find
pretty
out in
much what you're
5
doing.
miles.
That's pretty much what you're doing when it comes to this election. So, can you answer the question for me?
Well, I already told you what my outlook on this is.
I'm asking a specific question. Can you please
I'm
answer
voting.
that specific
I'm
question?
voting yes for Amendment 3.
I mean, you can just say no. I don't want to answer that question. I go to the next person. It's not
okay. Fifth.
It's so broad of a question because you're asking if you believe what all politicians say.
No, I'm going to Miss Jackson. Do you believe? And you can say no. I don't believe nothing that they say too. That's a third option. I'm sorry if you didn't think that was one, but do you believe what the politicians are saying?
Okay, so now there's a third option. Okay, so
okay, here you go.
Let's
Let's start from the very beginning. Red, do you believe what politicians are saying? Do you pick and choose what politicians are saying that you believe, or do you not believe what politicians are saying?
I don't believe anything that I cannot verify.
Okay, so you pick and choose. All right. Back to Bean. All three the same options.
I'm going with the third one.
Okay, so no. Miss Jackson, do you believe, pick and choose, or do you not believe what politicians are saying?
I agree. It's a broad kind of question because they all have a history of telling lies. Every last one of them have a history of telling lies. It's a business. But that's where I say character steps in that because your character will show if they're an honest, sincere person and if they care about the people. So I judge them based off their character. So based off her character, yes, I believe her.
All right, you believe her. All right, Miss Alexis, coming to you now. We got to do some work over there in that Chiefs game. But do you believe what politicians are saying? Do you pick and choose whether you believe it, or do you not believe what politicians are saying?
I pick and choose, and I'm gonna pick the red truck with the bad brakes. My dad's a mechanic.
Look, and the funny thing is, I don't think y'all thought. I think most of y'all were thinking that it was like kind of like a gotcha. I'm more
It's not a gotcha. It's a stupid
they all
question.
liars. That's the thing. They all tell lies.
But what if? Hold on. Like, what if a politician says, "Hey,
explain it to you. You'll
Trump
be surprised.
said the sky is blue."
Red, if you let me explain it, you would be surprised. I believe most of us as Americans, including myself, pick and choose what we choose to believe from them, regarding whether it's us doing our own research or, matter of fact, some people just get confirmation bias. It wasn't supposed to be this, whatever the fuck y'all just made this shit. It was like,
man, we just started getting bullshit.
It's not even a good question.
I can honestly say everybody on this panel.
It lets you know that some people won't be honest about it.
Everybody on this panel, I can pretty much say we're all in the same boat when it comes to we're fed the fuck up. Correct? No matter what side you're on, you're fed the fuck up.
When it comes to what?
The economy, the country.
The economy's
going to fucking Walmart to go get some fucking eggs.
Actually, I'm perfectly happy with everything right now.
I'm being dead serious. When it comes to the economy, I hear so many people complaining. I'm not in that position. Thank God, I'm not.
Okay, well that's
I'm not complaining about. I'm not complaining about the economy right now because the sad part, the economy has been getting better. If you actually pay attention to what the fuck's been going on economically, the economy has been
what has been getting better? What part of it?
Yeah, explain that to me.
Okay, prices of goods actually have come down.
Right? How are things over there?
Since when? Since 2020?
How are things over there in Texas?
Have the prices of goods not come down?
No.
If you raise gas prices to $5 and then you're like, oh well, now it's $4. At least it's not $5, even though it was $3 3 years ago.
Example: prescriptions. Prime example.
I want to be real. I want to be
health insurance. Have you seen? God forbid something happened to you when you need help.
Insurance, period.
Like, have you seen? Do you know what your out of pocket is right now if you get sick?
I have a health insurance policy.
You have a health
and
insurance
medical.
policy. That's good.
Yes.
But wait till you gotta fucking use that bitch, and your deductible is $3,500 fucking dollars.
What's changed in the grand scheme of what was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago
The
compared
fact
to
that
what
your
it is
deductible
now?
is 30, 35, 36.
Your
Well,
If you got a family
well,
of
first of all,
1,600, how about that?
you have deductibles going 150, 200%. You have inflation at 15, 20% over the past 4 years. Like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
All right,
You
well,
don't
here we go.
just because you haven't incurred any major
about to
debt
give
or
it-
any.
I'm
You know
about
what I'm
to-
saying? You can't speak for other people when you say that.
I'm
bro.
about to give it to you. I'm about to give it to you because this is where I push against the Trump side because I know both of y'all are on the Trump side. So just please give me a second.
I'm not on
I
any
kind of am.
side.
I
I'm on
kind of
my
am
pocket
host.
side.
I'm just saying. I
I'm
kind of
on
am
keeping
hosting.
my brothers out the bullshit side. That's what side I'm on.
I kind of am hosting the show right now. So let me give you my side of this real quick. Like, if anybody actually truly understands economics and they're not getting caught up in their feelings, they would understand that when Donald Trump inherited the economy that Obama gave him
Everybody
after two
always
terms,
says this.
I just want you to understand something. Just please listen for a second because it makes all the sense in the world. It makes all the sense in the world. Donald Trump did not magically, within 2 years, change and turn around the entire United States economy. The GDP
But wait,
of this
but
country.
did Obama?
So we got people that don't know how to listen real quick. Like, go and get it out. Y'all get it out real quick, like, and then I'll finish what I gotta say because I'm trying to talk.
Because this is a tired Democrat point that, oh, well, he inherited this, they inherited that, but you don't keep the same energy when you have Obama coming in after George Bush, or you have even Joe Biden coming in.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you real quick, like, because I don't think you understand economics of what actually happened. Obama, when he came in, this country was in a recession. His first term was building out of that, and everything in his second term was building up. That's what Trump got when he got into office.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? Nobody's taking away from
What was
Obama.
health insurance like? What was the inflation rate like? What was the immigrant?
I gotta mute you because I'm trying to explain something. I understand you disagree with it, but you can combat it after I get done. The economic standard that we done seen, that the pattern we've seen. When Obama got in the office, George Bush had ran us into the goddamn dirt in Afghanistan and Iraq. The economy was down. We were in a recession. Obama came in, and that's why Republicans jumped on his head for his first 2 years. And he was slowly building the economy back up. In his second term, the economy bounced back and was higher than when it was when Clinton was in office. So when he had it up to where he was, when Trump came into office, Trump inherited a great economy. I don't care how many times Trump said he got a bad economy. The economy was doing great. It was on the uprise when he got it. And within 2 years, he fucked it up. Because he overspent and then lied about COVID.
It all comes down to the Federal Reserve. They were
done, Red. I'm not done. After he fucked it up for them 2 years, spending all that money and giving all his rich friends and himself a tax cut, COVID hit. Then he lied about fucking COVID when it was already over here for months. And then he kept acting like, no, we need to keep going. I'm worried about the stock market. No, this, no, that. And the economy sucked when he got out of office. That was one of the main reasons that he got unelected. The economy. It wasn't all this other whoop-de-whoop bullshit. It was the economy. He talking about all this money the government spent. He was the main one sending out stimulus checks, giving all these PPP loans out.
That's right.
And then Joe Biden got in office. And
Joe
Biden
gave out PPP loans too.
Hold up. I'm still not done. I'm almost there. I'm gonna speed it up. For y'all. So when Biden got into office, the economy was already shitty. Every economy was shitty around the world because we were coming out of COVID. And now, supposedly, gas prices are down, prices of food are down. You can look it up, dude. The United States had the smallest inflation compared to every other country in the entire world.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Look
not.
it up.
We had record levels of inflation
good
under the
dope
Biden
over there,
presidency
United
compared to Donald
States.
Trump.
For
Yes,
the
yes,
United
and compared to the rest of the world,
the
compared to
world.
China, compared to Russia, compared to
No.
the EU and all the other economic powerhouses, I'd like to see you pull up the graphs. But it's interesting you asked this question about
Hold on,
picking and
Red.
choosing, because you pick and
Red,
choose
say
when
pull
you
up the
say,
graph.
"Oh,
Pull up the
Donald
graphs.
Trump lied about COVID," and he
Pull up the
didn't.
graphs.
He
He
said it
did.
wasn't. He wasn't actually. Well, remember, Donald Trump was
Did
the
he not?
first
Hold on,
president
hold on.
in the
Stop
entire
right there, Red.
world. Well,
Red,
I
stop
just
right
let
there.
you talk,
Did
and
he
you're not
not?
letting me talk.
No,
He
actually, I didn't finish.
shut
Red.
down
That's what
travel from China.
See, what Red don't understand is, first off, I didn't finish, but I was gonna let you run with that. But you gonna say he lied about COVID? He didn't lie about it. Answer that for me, Red. He didn't lie about
This
COVID.
is where you pick and choose, because
No,
Trump was the
asking
first
you.
president to shut down travel from China, and all the Democrats and people like you called him racist because of it.
It was already.
He
No,
predicted it. He said we need to shut this shit down in January. And then when he was listening to the experts, like all the Democrats said he should, he did what they said. He listened to Fauci, and that's kind of the reason why I'm not a big fan of Trump. But you know, they'll pick and choose, and they'll say, "Oh, Trump said this and they did that." Trump actually listened to the experts. That's why he came out with the warp speed. That's why he shut down travel to China, even when Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer said that's racist. And during the entire COVID pandemic, it was a state's issue. All the states shut down their own economies. It was not up to
Well, Trump was
exactly.
COVID even happened in the first place.
Nancy Pelosi was saying you should go hug a Chinese person in March, and you see how that turned out. And by the way, Nancy Pelosi, she's like tripled her net worth from her stock trading, and her husband, she's an expert insider stock trader. Compare that to Trump's net worth, which has only gone down over the years, and they'll say, "Oh, it's because he's a bad businessman," or maybe he has actual Americans in mind when he's making these policy decisions. And furthermore, when it comes to inflation is only and only this, an increase in the monetary supply. It comes down to the Federal Reserve printing money and the American government requesting money. If you look at the inflation rate under Trump's presidency, it was considerably down compared to Obama and Biden. And that's why when we had Biden, we saw all these eggs, gas, everything go up. And under Trump, we had $2 gas, we had cheap groceries, this, that, and the third.
And everybody
Red,
became fucking chicken farmers.
Hey, look, you know what the funny thing is? Red disregarded his own point that he made earlier, and that's why I ask questions and I make sure I remember them also. Red, we talked about economic policies that presidents put in and how fast would they take effect. You talking about Joe Biden caused inflation when Joe Biden came into office and there was already inflation. He didn't cause it.
I said the Federal Reserve called it
I'm about to go
inflation
through all of them.
under Joe Biden. Wait, so we can use this right up
against
against you, because you said Obama inherited a good economy, but the economy bounced back in the end of 2008 and 2009, which is not 2 years before.
Say that again.
Okay.
Say that again.
Okay, so if you're using this example,
Hold on, Red. I want to repeat what you said.
no, because you said Obama inherited a good economy.
Good? I never said that.
A bad economy. I misspoke.
Yeah, he did.
You're saying
Bad
Obama
economy.
inherited a bad economy. Yet the economy bounced back in the end of 2008 and 2009, which is before that 2-year answer I gave you before. So
what year did
so
Obama get elected?
perhaps this precedent.
What year did Obama get elected?
2008. 2 years
said
from
the economy-
2008
you
is
said-
2010. The
So you
economy
said
began
in 2
bouncing
years,
back at the
it
end of
bounced back.
2008. No, you were about to use my answer I gave of 6 months to 2 years to when a president's economic policies begin to take effect. If Obama inherited the worst economy on planet Earth from George Bush, it wouldn't have taken effect until 2010. But that wasn't the case.
Red, you might want to go back and look at the economics. And I didn't say that it bounced back within 2 years of Obama getting into office. I said after his term, not 2 years, second term, he got the economy back.
But it did. No, it began bouncing back at the end of 2000.
You can rewind the tape. That's what I said.
I'm not talking about what you said. I'm talking about what actually
You just
happened.
told me I said something that I didn't say.
No, what you were saying, what you were going to bring up, how I said it takes 6 months to 2 years for an economic policy to take place, and you were going to use that against Trump and saying Trump inherited this great Obama economy. It depends on what your definition of recession is, because they change that every year, if you notice.
No. What the federal government at that time considered a recession.
No, I'm not sure, because they change it depending on.
Okay,
well, guess what? They changed the definition when we were actually in a recession in 2022.
See, we cannot be revisionist history.
Well, what I'm saying is we can't trust that definition of a recession, because it depends on who's the president. They will the Federal Reserve will change the definition of recession depending on who's the president and who they like. Janet Yellen has done this several times.
Red, we can't keep jumping around from time period to time period to make an argument. We need to stick at one.
I'm sorry, you can't understand several timelines at once. What I'm saying is the Federal Reserve.
That's not what you're not getting it. You can't keep jumping around talking about they changed the term. I'm talking about at the term at that time. When we were talking about Obama, right? The term at that time was the United States was in a recession. You just said on here that the United States government bounced back in 2010. It fucking did not. Obama was.
I didn't say 2010. I never even said that year. I didn't even say 2000. We can play back the video. I never even said the year 2010.
You saw Korea. You wasn't even here.
I asked you, when was Obama elected? You said 2008. And you said the reason you using my argument about the 6 months to 2 years is the same thing because Obama fucking magically got it bounced back. And what are we talking? Miss Jackson, are you following what the fuck's been going on?
Yeah.
Well, so now it feels like you're bouncing off of what I'm saying now. What was your argument?
I know I'm not crazy. I said that Obama inherited a bad economy from Bush, and he turned it around in two terms. 2 terms.
No. Oh, so it took him 2 years. It took him 2 terms to turn it around.
Trump inherited a good economy, and he fucked it up. That's what I've been saying.
No, COVID fucked it up. Look at 2017, 18, and 19.
COVID.
Created COVID in his basement.
I'm not gonna say Trump created COVID, but Trump was the president when COVID happened, and I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
Actually, Obama created COVID because
They didn't create it. Trump was the reason it happened.
Look,
Obama funded the Wuhan lab in 2014.
When shit happens in this fucking country, and something goes bad, depending on who you affiliated with when it comes to your presidential party, whatever the fuck, you will blame that person or you won't assume blame to him. No, fucking Trump is at fault for fucking COVID.
That's right.
You're not gonna sit here and play just like George.
So this is your argument. So what should he? What should he have done?
You're taking that personally.
He should have actually took it serious and stopped lying to the American public.
He shut down all travel from China. He shut down all.
He's taking that personally.
Dude, I caught fucking COVID before that motherfucker ever said COVID was a real thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, it was the Spanish flu. It was the Black Plague.
Died behind it. That wasn't a joke.
I'm not cool with motherfuckers lying to the
They said like 20 million people were gonna die. They said it was the Black Plague, and we have to shut everything down, or everyone's gonna die.
I know a lot of people.
I know a lot of people that die from the flu. I know a lot of people that die from diabetes.
Well,
but you don't see us locking down the country over that.
Hey, look, I'm perfectly fine with him. I'm cool with you having that mindset of you don't really give a fuck because people die from other shit all the time. When it happens to you or it happens to your family, I want you to keep that same energy. Just throwing that out there.
Okay,
that's bullshit.
Okay, so that's a personal thing. You're not making a logical argument.
No, I'm being dead serious. That's kind of bullshit because it's your fellow Americans that got lied to by.
Do you know what the death rate was? Do you know what the death rate was of COVID? It was 0.027.
That's
Okay,
a
but how
damn
many
lie.
people died? Hey, yo,
That's
let
a
it
damn
be
lie.
that. Hey,
Children
hey,
died.
Jackson, let it be that. Let it be that.
Complications.
Let it be that. How many people died from it that didn't have to die if they
They
would have
died
been
from
warned ahead of
complications.
time? If they could have been warned ahead of time.
99% of them had 2
If
or
they would
more
have washed their
comorbidities.
nasty ass hands, they might still be
Y'all
here.
don't. All right, then. Look. I'm being dead ass serious. If that's the mindset that you will not hold somebody to a task when they had the power to acknowledge that something was going on and they
Well,
chose
we
to
should
lie,
hold people to
that's
task. We should
fine.
hold
No, that's
Democratic
fine.
governors who
No,
shut down their
Is
states.
this
you're making
oxymoron night?
excuses.
Is this
You're making
oxymoron night?
excuses. You're
You
making
said
excuses.
you said earlier in the chat we couldn't be emotional about our decisions, but now you're
It's
taking
not
it
about it.
personal.
This is not an emotional part. This is a moral argument.
Yeah. Just like Jay
Not
Ward
Well,
about
said.
emotion.
where are you basing your morality from?
The morality is if we as people in a country put our faith in a leader and this leader deliberately lies in your face and it causes deaths, I'm not giving that bitch a pass
Oh
for
my
that.
God.
Obama
Oh my
lied
God.
about Bin
How did it
Laden.
cause
Oh, you
So
anything?
how
talking
can
about
you be
that?
pro-life against abortion and
Oh,
it's
you
the
talking
same
about that?
scenario if you
They
don't
lied
say
about
if
Bin
life
Laden.
ain't
Oh, you
first?
talking about that?
That
Yep.
was with Bush. That was with Bush.
Bin Laden got
Again,
killed by Obama, buddy.
Obama just kept look. I give
It's
Obama all
hypocrisy.
the shit that you want to give him. He was the drone bomber in chief. He was the master deporter. If you want to hem him up for that, hem him up. Guess what? The same people y'all are supporting want to do it and do it.
What you mean?
What the fuck is the argument? The same people y'all represent or
that's
y'all root
what
for
I'm
do
trying
the
to
exact
figure out,
same
because
thing
you
you
keep
want to
flip
criticize
flopping and
that man
saying
for.
this is
That's
bad, but then
crazy.
Obama did it
You
and now
calling
it's
the kettle
good.
black. You calling the kettle black.
I ain't calling the kettle shit.
Y'all want these motherfuckers to bomb. You want these motherfuckers to bomb people in other countries. You want them motherfuckers to deport everybody.
No, I don't.
And you
I
trying to
don't
hold
think
it
we should
against
have a
Obama?
single military base outside of the
Obama
Actually,
did
United
it.
States.
Man, Obama was the best president that all y'all done seen in y'all fucking lifetime. Let's be real. Let's be real.
That's why we started like 3 new wars, and we spent more than we ever did in the Middle East and
We didn't start
etc.
no 3 new wars. We was in the same damn wars. All they did was just splinter in the
Oh,
stone. That's
Syria.
all it
I mean,
was.
come on. We got
We was
involved in
already in
Africa. We put
Syria.
our proxies against them.
Red. If you joined the military, you would have known. We were already in Syria.
It wasn't the same kind of
We were
military operation that
no.
Obama
Just
had,
not
and you just
just
said that. You just said he
no.
was the drone king.
Exactly. He was droning the fuck out of people. That's what America wants. Yeah, the Republicans.
No,
want to
that's
kill
not
all
that's
them
not what I
motherfuckers.
want. That's not what I want. I don't
You
think we should
represent
be
where
involved.
you're supporting.
No. See,
people
you're
that
putting words in my
escalate.
mouth and you're throwing labels to me, and you're not actually listening to my
I asked
argument.
you who you was
I
going to
don't
vote
want
for
us to be
earlier. You
involved in
told me.
any overseas foreign combats.
But you support people that will. That's what they will do.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You just said you would support
Where is
Trump.
Donald Trump going to deploy troops day one? Tell me.
Where's Donald? First off, he doesn't have to deploy them day one. He just has to keep them there. Where did Obama deploy
Where
troops day
actually
one?
no, Donald Trump worked to get our troops out of places like
Oh,
Syria
did he
and
ever get them out?
Afghanistan.
Did he ever
Yeah,
get them
well,
out?
he established a date to get them out. He established the Abraham Accords. He established a peace deal. Yes, he established the accords to get them out of Afghanistan. Yes, he
Okay,
did.
what about
He
the
made a
Patriot
deal
Act?
with the Taliban to get them out,
What
and
about the
Obama
Patriot
and
Act?
Look,
Biden
we
fucked it
talking
up.
about a lot of talking and not a lot of doing. Donald Trump didn't get no wall fucking built for nobody. He didn't get nobody out of no fucking war. No, he built a
2%.
wall.
Wait, hold on. We
2%.
just listened to that Asian guy said he built like 500 kilometers of wall.
He built 2% of the wall, and Mexico didn't pay a damn dime.
What was the 500 kilometers?
Joe Biden said I wouldn't have student loans, but here we go.
People have had that.
No, he has a law that's covering that.
No, you don't.
Oh
Do
yeah.
your
Oh
research.
yeah.
No, you
Do
don't.
your research.
Your shit goes in the default fucking
Just like the medical. Just like the medical. He's on it. Check it out.
Okay. All right, here you go.
Because
Let's be real.
Americans are so free of their student and medical debt now.
Look, first off, Donald, when it comes to Joe, like, look, regardless of how I feel about Joe, his
I can't get it
crime bill
done.
ass, regardless of how I feel about Joe and his crime bill ass, because I don't like the old dementia motherfucker. he actually did forgive student loans for some people.
Thank
There are
you.
a lot of Americans
But
that
those
actually had their student
programs are
loans
already
forgiven.
in place for teachers and firefighters and police. That shit's been there since 2012.
He made a start.
He didn't do anything new.
He didn't do that. That shit's been there.
This is where I have an issue, and this is where y'all are irritating me. Because
No, I
No, I want you
graduated
to-
and
I
I
want you to
almost
hear me.
went
I
into
want-
law enforcement to forgive my student loans. So I
that's fine,
personally
that's fine.
know. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah, I
fine.
know
I want
that
you to
shit's
understand.
real.
I want you to understand what you're saying because it's more profound than just your simple statement that you made. You're saying that those programs were already in place.
Yeah.
How many presidents take credit for things that are already in place? You just tried to fucking throw
All of them.
Y'all. Exactly. So how can you fucking pick and choose when they apply to all of them? So when I'm saying something
Because
about
because Miss
you can't
Jackson
put
was
me in a
saying,
bubble.
"Oh, Biden's so great." Because
I ain't got time
Delusional
for this
and
shit.
crazy over.
Look, this is what I'm gonna do because I'm gonna say it and then I'll let them come back and say what they need to say because this is crazy. They fucking on that bullshit. If you want to pick and choose and say Joe Biden did this, Donald Trump didn't do that, and all this shit, keep it 100. Stop being biased. Like, just stop being biased. Like, for real, can you stop being biased? If it applies for Obama, if it applies for Biden, guess who it also applies for? Donald Trump. So stop picking and choosing when you want to fucking act like something happened and something didn't happen.
the only person picking and choosing is you, because Ms. Jackson said Biden forgave the student loans, and Bean's World said, actually, no, that was a former policy. No one's being biased here. We're just telling it like it is.
No, there actually was a new policy that Biden put in place that actually forgave loans, and you might not be
No, the
informed
fuck
about
it
that.
You need to read it.
They
Just
sued-
research it and read it.
They sent in a lawsuit, brother. They
Yeah,
stopped
it
that.
got rejected
They
by the
sued.
Supreme
It got
Court.
Rejected, big dog. There's letters. Go to your student loans website right now. There are people who got fucking letters that said your loans have been sold to another servicer due to the fact that we thought we were going to be able to forgive your loans, but due to the fact that there's a lawsuit that's supposed to be ending or next court date's like 2025.
I'm tired of talking to people that don't research shit. I'm just show you right here, because y'all.
Let's go to Google, the bestower of all truth.
Let's go to Google.
Y'all not listen. Y'all don't keep up with what the fuck's going on. So I'll let y'all read that. Miss Jackson, you want to read that out loud for them?
Let's see here. This relief has a student loan for forgiveness been approved. This relief, which is the result of significant fixes that the administration has made to the public service loan forgiveness program.
That's what the fuck we've been talking about.
Brings the total loan
police.
Brings the total loan forgiveness approved by the administration to over 175 billion for more than 4.8 million Americans, which includes 74 billion for over 1 million.
Now
What's
look
the
up
date on
what
that?
a
What's the date on that?
look up what
What's the
a
date on that?
PSLF loan is for.
What
Fuck the
date
date.
does that say?
Look
What
up
date does
what
that
that's
say?
for. Look
You
at
guys,
what that's
you guys
for.
don't even know what a PSLF
October
is.
17th, 2024.
Okay, that's good. Now look at what that loan is for. Now look at type in what that is. Look at what it is.
Oh, you want me to copy that and type it
It
in?
says Biden-Harris administration approved.
No. Type that
There
in.
you go. There you go. I got you. Because obviously y'all ain't been looking this shit up.
No, I'm telling you.
No,
what the
y'all
fuck
haven't
I
been
got
looking
in
this
the
shit
mail.
up.
All right, well, give me $29,000 then, because that's what I got left.
No, you haven't
Well,
been.
ask Kamala.
You've been. A lot of y'all, and this is one thing that gets me, especially with my folks that be on the right. Y'all don't fucking
Qualifying.
look shit up.
Click on
Y'all don't look shit
qualifying
up.
right there. Qualifying. There you
It
go.
says
No,
all this
roll
shit.
back down. No,
Apply
fuck
for
that.
loan
Roll back down.
forgiveness.
No,
Apply
roll back
for
Show
down.
the
eligibility.
qualifying public
Because-
services.
There you go. What do we say you have to do to get this program? What do you have to be? A teacher? Emergency services? Yes.
Okay,
this shit has
hold
been-
on. What was the point that we started at? He has
That
a
shit's
student
been
loan
there.
forgiveness program. Y'all say he ain't forgave shit. Now you want to talk about, well, you got to be this or
He
you got to be
didn't
that.
forgive shit.
Is it
Because
That
true?
program has been there.
this
Is it
program has always
true?
existed.
That's a lie.
Y'all just keep
That's a
on
damn
going.
lie.
No, that's the
Y'all moving
truth.
the goalposts,
Because
man.
it got
Y'all
placed
moving
on
the
your
goalposts.
credit years
No.
back. And it was never forgiven.
Nobody's moving the goalposts. We've been saying the same exact thing.
It was never forgiven back in the day.
Crazy. He tried to articulate. You be a good lawyer. You tried to articulate this big ass story, and you just went in fucking circles just to wipe your fucking ass.
If you want to break it down, if you want to say it's only for specific jobs, which y'all said he didn't do nothing. All right, so let's say civilian.
I've been saying that the entire time, son. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, guess what? So he obviously did something, but civilian service.
No, this has always been there.
Wait, what did he actually do though?
These loans were forgiven.
He put it into effect. Something nobody else did. Trump damn sure didn't do it.
What are you talking about?
Trump damn sure didn't do it.
These programs have been in place since Obama.
Dude, this shit is so crazy.
This don't even make no sense. But here you go.
Obama created these programs. What are you talking about?
I'm glad that. So if
we did it, Joe.
If somebody creates a program,
we did it, Joe.
If somebody creates a program and then somebody else comes in and puts more funds into it and actually opens it up for more
funds are going to be there anyway.
More funds. What does it matter if you put more funds if it's already being forgiven?
Hey, babe, can you say it for me one time?
Maybe it wasn't doing the job it needed to do.
We did it, Joe.
I'm not even gonna say what I really think with that shit. It's really sad because we got people in America that are really oblivious to what the fuck is going on, and they got a fucked up way of thinking.
No, you are oblivious.
You just showed it on the screen. What are you talking about?
And the proof is in the pudding down.
The proof.
The proof is what he just showed you.
You don't need to smoke that shit.
Yeah, in your face.
Throw that away.
Make it make sense. If people were waiting and hoping and praying to get their student loans forgiven, and there was a program that was already there that was not forgiving their student loans, and then this new
but it was.
What are you talking about? This program was. My cousin was a lawyer and a substitute teacher. What are you talking about? She was a teacher so she could get her fucking loans forgiven. What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, then what changed for all the people who finally got their student loans forgiven once Joe Biden them passed their bill?
That's a good question.
It was a new bill.
Because there was exactly.
It's a new bill.
She was a teacher, so she qualified under Biden's administration.
Okay, so what actually changed?
That it was effective, that they could actually they could be forgiven.
She became a teacher to get her loans.
Brady, it was already forgiven though.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Somebody want to read that?
So Biden-Harris administration approves additional $4.5 billion in student debt relief for 60,000 public service workers. So basically, what they're saying is, we added money to this thing that we already have money in for something that we've already been doing. We did it, Joe.
I don't think y'all understand what I was saying. I don't think y'all get it. I really don't think y'all get it.
Hey, high five, Red.
There were no loans being forgiven before this.
Yes,
what are you talking about?
That's a lie.
What are you talking about?
No, you a lie. These people have there's people been had student loans since the 90s. That's followed them their whole lives on their credit.
Okay, and they're not one of those workers.
All right, look, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not just here
until the policy came into effect.
Look, if you don't get it,
This is
the program,
crazy.
Buddy.
Look, if you don't get it, you don't get it. In the grand scheme of things, like, okay, look,
I really don't get it.
We had healthcare already in this country. Obama came up with a new way to add more people to get covered.
Obama made it worse.
She
gave us universal health care is what we need.
You remember? If you want your health care plan, you could keep your health care plan.
Obamacare is the worst thing that ever existed.
Be respectful, man. I'm trying my best to be respectful, but y'all need to respect the platform.
You know how expensive Obamacare is?
I need y'all to understand that this is a platform where one person talks at a time. I'm really trying my best to be respectful without saying some crazy shit to you. One person at a time. I'm gonna let you talk. I'll let everybody talk when they want to say what they want to say. Please stop fucking cutting me off. Please stop doing that. Because we can just get everybody the fuck up off of here. But I understand we're gonna disagree on different topics here and there or whatever the fuck, but we ain't finna do that. That disrespectful shit needs to stop right now. We good? I think we all good.
Disrespecting you?
What you doing right now?
I'm trying to figure out. Like, what are you talking about? This is an open panel, correct?
Don't overtalk the fucking host.
Hey, real quick, because I gotta make a run real quick.
Yeah.
I appreciate you letting me come up here and discuss with y'all. When I get back, if y'all still on here, I'm gonna come back up. But I just gotta make a run real quick. So thank y'all.
Hey, Chiefs up, girl.
Yeah, I just saw that. Let's keep it holding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gotta hold that, and we got the ball, so we got it. We need to do what we need to do.
But if y'all still on here, then I'll come back up. But let me go make this run. And it's always good talking to y'all. Be safe.
You know it, girl. Appreciate you coming through, Alexis. Hey, look, man. I just don't like that bullshit. We gotta stop doing that, man. One mic at a time. Let the motherfucker speak, and then the next person go, and we gonna let everybody get in on this shit, man. We ain't gotta keep doing this shit. This is elementary. But look, I understand what y'all are trying to say. He didn't come up with a brand new policy. He influxed a policy that was already in place. So that means the policy was already good. He added more funds to it so it could affect more Americans getting their student loans forgiven. And if we really talk about where we began that conversation, people said, Bean, you were one of them that said that he didn't forgive no student loans. You got people that didn't get nothing done. When we clearly saw that $4.5 billion were put in there to forgive student loans. And then we started getting into that dibbling dabbling like, well, you don't have this job and you don't have this job. The original point is true. That's what we're talking about. Y'all got the floor.
Okay,
Well,
so
I
what
would
you
like to
just
say-
said was total cap because he didn't approve any new people for student loan forgiveness. He added money to a pool that already existed for people who are already getting their student loans forgiven. He didn't forgive any extra new people for the student loan forgiveness program, which is what we've been saying from the very beginning.
Hey, Red, then why does it say bringing the total to over 1 million public? That means they're bringing new people into it.
No,
Read the
he
bottom
didn't.
line. To a total over 1 million public servants.
Yes, that's
We see all
American
that.
citizens. That's
No,
American
it's not American
citizens.
citizens. That's not a normal a
People
person who has an
that
art
is
degree.
people.
Right? They
Right,
don't have
that
a
is-
service.
that is
They
people-
can't go into a service field. See what I'm saying? There are
Who
people with art
already
degrees
were
that are
approved
60
for the
grand.
loan.
What are you talking about? There are different types of degrees out there. But the service degrees are the ones that they're forgiving. And the money that he is giving or already provided are for the people that were already in this plan or program working the 10 to 12 years that they promised to work in the public sector to forgive their student loans. It's just this new bill ramped everything up to where the people didn't have to wait 10 to 12 years. Some people were getting off in 4 and 5.
So it helped American citizens, right?
It helped people who are already
Okay,
in the
so now
public
you're
sector.
moving the goalposts.
No, the whole point was the
Oh,
new
let me
bill that did-
reverse it. Let me reverse my wording. He helped American citizens who are already working in the public sector.
Okay,
Well,
but before, prior to that, they wasn't getting no help at all.
Yes, they were. They were already approved for that loan forgiveness program.
They just had to
I'm
work
gonna-
10 to 12 years, or there's like a 10 years or 12 years promise.
Look, I'm gonna read this line right here for y'all. Before President Biden and Vice President Harris entered the White House, the public service loan forgiveness program was so riddled by dysfunction that just 7,000 Americans ever qualified, and countless public servants were trapped by making payments. on
Wow.
debt
So
that
you
they
mean
had
7,000 public
Would you
servants
listen?
that would have gotten their loans forgiven
Would you
eventually?
Would you listen and finish reading?
Now, look, it's funny that he says 7,000, but it brought the number over what?
Over 1 million.
More than 8.2 million. I
So-
mean, 4.8 million.
So that means before it was 4.71 million.
No. No, this bro, you tripping. You trying to add different numbers into it. But either way, though, I'll read the rest.
Oh, my bad. It was 7 billion or 7,900,993. 7,993,000, and now it's
with this logic that y'all are giving me right now, I can see why people are saying, yeah, Trump built that wall.
Dude, I'm really gonna save this because this has been a brilliant case study.
It really is a case study because when it comes down to it, like, look, I'm not here to defend Joe Biden. I'm not here to defend Kamala Harris. I'm not here to defend Donald Trump. I think all of them are pieces of shit. But we need to talk about what actually really happened and not live in our own little bubble. Like, people don't understand. Like, we got a lot of people that don't even remember Trump shooting paper towels like Jordan. The motherfuckers in Puerto Rico talking about he ain't never seen a Cat 5 before after the last one just hit the coast. Like, let's be real. I'm not finna sit here. I say here
the last one just hit the coast. What are you talking about? He wasn't. What?
Man, you don't want to go there when Trump dumbass just talked about the Puerto Ricans like a dog. At his rally, and they're gonna lie and say, I don't know how the supporter got to my rally.
That was
here we go.
Comedian.
Yeah, I don't know how the comedian got to my rally, but guess what?
Well,
all them Latinos that was gonna vote for him, they vote on the opposite side now.
Actually, no. Every Puerto Rican I know is for Trump.
Look, we can say
that ain't what they said on CNN.
Look, we can say
CNN must be true.
News.
It doesn't even really matter because if you listen to what what actually Red said, he said all the Puerto Ricans he doesn't know all Puerto Ricans, so that's neither here nor there.
Well, you can look up the Hispanic population, and they have a heavy swing towards Trump, even compared to 2020. The Hispanic population is heavily, especially Puerto Ricans, Hondurans, and Cubans have always been super Republican.
That's fine and dandy. We will see tomorrow. The whole point of this show is to talk about the candidates and talk about what they actually stand for. We will see tomorrow how America chooses to vote. Like you said, you're not voting.
How Dominion chooses to vote.
Can't wait.
Not voting. Like, I think Bean is probably the only one up here that is going to vote. But we're up here just to discuss the candidates. Other people are going to be putting their own votes forward. It doesn't matter about what the fuck. Who will you vote for? Because we're not going to go out there and do it. Like, we're not.
Mine is not by choice.
We should discuss the shenanigans a bit early on, because in Alabama, your state, for example, they found like over 3,000 illegal immigrants that were registered to vote illegally. In my state, Michigan, they found a couple people who were voting illegally that weren't supposed to. In California, you don't need an ID to vote. And in Pennsylvania now, they're finding these ballots with these weird dots in the Kamala Harris box.
Red.
No, what happened in Pennsylvania was they set the ballots on fire.
No, that was Washington.
Can we look? They did it in a couple states. Can we stop going with reports of something without any factual evidence behind it? Because
it's not a report. Alabama did discover. You can look at the Alabama Secretary of State. They did discover.
I've looked at that already. I've looked at it already, and that shit was false.
What was false about it?
Google it.
They were lying. They found some. They exaggerated the number of what they thought it was, and then on top of that, these people were not registered to vote for the president. They were allowed to vote for state and local. They were allowed to vote for state and local. They weren't allowed to vote for the president, just like people.
Okay, okay, great. So, is it true that you don't need an ID to vote in California? Yes or no?
You shouldn't need an ID to vote anywhere.
Well, they required.
You have to register. That's everywhere. You register to vote.
I don't think you need to have an ID to goddamn.
Hold on. So you don't think you need an ID to go to the voting booth?
That proves your identity and registration.
No. Okay, but if you let's say I registered to vote 6 months ago and I show up to the voting booth without an ID. How do they know it's me that registered to vote?
You need to be able to write your social down on that goddamn shit. But I don't believe you.
Anyone can write a number down. You need an ID to buy a pack of cigarettes, bro.
Yeah. But guess what, Red? Do I have your social?
I didn't need ID to go into Kamala's rally.
So the Social Security office was hacked 3 months ago suspiciously, and a bunch of social numbers got out.
Look, the only way I would
Well, your ID card can't get hacked. You bring your ID card to the poll. That proves you are who you say you are.
Well, here you go, Red Hill. This is what we need to do then. If we want, because I know a lot of Republicans are for voter ID. If that's the case, then it needs to come out of taxpayer money.
A lot of Democrats are too.
Now,
I just say,
don't get it out your system because I wasn't done talking, but go ahead.
I'm not sure what your argument is. Your argument is that we shouldn't have an ID to vote?
My argument is, can I say it first before you cut me off?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll say, if any party wants voter ID, the government is going to have to pay for it, which means it's going to come out of our tax dollars. And that should be free to all the citizens. They shouldn't have to pay any extra tax to get it. If the government wants to do that,
What money would you have to pay? It would cost $0 to show your ID.
Red, if you got to go get your license renewed, do you have to pay a fee?
Yeah, and it's already a crime to not have your ID or your driver's license if you're driving. Yes, it is.
If you're driving,
it's illegal to not have a state ID.
No, it's not.
Depending on what state you live in. Depending on what state you live in. That ain't ever.
What state is illegal?
Well, anyone that requires you to have the Patriot Star on your license, you have to have that.
No.
Last time I checked, that was all 50 states.
Dude, y'all want to live in Nazi Germany. The fuck you think I need to have? I'm walking down the street. I gotta have an ID.
The Democrats and the Kamala Republicans, the Dick Cheneys and Liz Cheneys are the ones that implemented all this national ID and this
according to state
ID
laws,
type of thing.
according to your state law.
All 50 states require you to have an ID or a driver's license to buy a pack of cigs.
You have to have that to self-identify.
That's for certain acts, yeah, man.
No, you have to have identification in all 50 states if the cops pull you over. Period.
No, you don't.
You have to
yes, you do.
Hold on, real quick. If you're driving, not if you're a passenger.
You have to self-identify.
Even if you're walking down the street, you have to have some form of identification on you. You can.
What the fuck are y'all?
Terry versus Ohio. Look it up.
Terry versus Ohio, sir.
You only have to identify if you are suspected of committing a crime. What the fuck are y'all talking about?
If you are suspected of committing a crime, that means that they can ask for identification. And if you don't have identification, you can be tried or fined for that. You have to have identification in all 50 states. Period.
Red, what you just said is you have to have an ID if you're walking down the street. No, the fuck you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
But maybe in your state.
No, they just don't know the Constitution. They don't know the Constitution. They don't know the Constitution, and they part of the party that's supposed to know the Constitution.
All right. Now, fuck that. Turn your camera on, your GoPro on. I want you to go outside and walk down the street and flag down an officer without your ID in your pocket.
They ain't got to have no ID. They don't have to have ID to identify you. They just call a fingerprint. They can fingerprint your ass and identify you. They don't need a damn card.
Jackson, don't go to that. Don't even go to that. No.
Guess what?
Well, maybe you should need a fingerprint to vote.
9 times out of 10, they're gonna detain you and handcuff your ass.
You tell them that. Yeah, in your state. In your state, like I just said.
Look, it's against the law.
Well, here's the crazy part. If you need an identification to get a tattoo, to buy alcohol, why shouldn't you need that to vote for the president of the United States, the highest office on planet Earth?
And I went to see Kamala. Kamala. All I did was show my registration, and they didn't even look at no fucking ID.
You went to see it.
So that proves you ain't got to have the damn vote.
That makes sense.
Look, I didn't say
you ain't gonna have to show it to go see Trump.
I wonder why all these fraudulent ballots keep getting sent in Michigan.
You wouldn't have to have it to go see Trump.
Look, I'll just put it like
actually, my friend went to a.
Like I said in the very beginning, if people want folks to have an ID to vote, then the state needs to fund it, and it should not be an extra tax on the citizen. I don't have a
Dude,
problem.
what is being funded? It doesn't cost any money.
Dude, if you go and get a state ID, they charge you a fee. That is a tax.
We already pay for that money. It already costs money to get an ID.
So
Everyone,
I'm saying-
most 90% of people have IDs, dude.
Red, do you not get what the fuck I'm saying? If the state wants you to have an ID, they need to mail you an ID for free. They don't just give you a driver license or a state ID for free.
It costs like $8. Damn. What a drag.
It should be free. Red, it should be
doesn't-
free.
Okay,
Unless
so
it's
well, if
free.
you
It shouldn't be, no, unless it's free, it should not be an issue. Unless it's going to be free. Because guess what? All you're doing
that's your problem is that
No,
it's
all
not
you're
free.
doing-
It costs
No, Red,
it costs
Red, you don't-
$8.99 to buy an ID.
Red,
So
you don't
that's your
understand
issue with it.
Shit. Red, you don't understand the historical evidence of what the fuck you saying, because all you're doing is trying to institute a poll tax.
Dude,
You
it's
don't
not a
even
poll
understand-
tax. Most Americans have an ID. Most Americans already have an ID or a driver's license. We don't talk about the exceptions, remember? We don't talk about the exceptions. We ain't talking about the exceptions. Yes, when I turned 18, I got a state ID. It cost me
You went and
$8
got
from the
one.
state of Michigan.
Keyword, you went and
Yes.
got one. You didn't
Yes.
have one. You went and got one. Guess what? If you wanted to
When I turned 18, I went to the Secretary of State and I got my identification.
Secretary,
Now,
what the fuck
most
you don't go to the Secretary of State to get no ID. You go to the DMV. What the fuck you talking about?
that's what we call it here in Michigan. But we,
I don't know what the
as
fuck
soon
you're
as you
talking
turn
about.
18, you either get that, or when you turn 16, you get your driver's license. That's a form of identification. Why
Exactly.
shouldn't you have to show that to vote?
Okay, well, listen, I don't mean.
Driver's license to vote. Then everybody has a driver's license, pretty much.
Well, listen, y'all, I don't mean to interrupt.
Everyone has an ID. That you should be able to show some form of identification. Driver's license is a form of ID.
Gotta get up out of here, man. Look, we better get up out of here too, anyway.
Yeah, thank you. Final thoughts, because I'm trying to jump on the rally. Yeah, final thoughts. I didn't want to jump off. I was just gonna say if you didn't get to the final thoughts, I was gonna go ahead and give mine.
Yeah, let me start with you. You final thoughts first.
Okay, thank you. I did enjoy the show. I always do. I'm just moving forward. I'm staying focused on the main goal, and that's we at the day, we here at the bottom line, and see who's going to get the election tomorrow, and see what the outcome, the aftermath will be as well. So hey, we will see. And that's just where we at right now. So yeah.
All right, now, man, I appreciate you, man. Next, we go into Bean's world. You're gonna get Bean. I'm gonna let Red get the final thought on everything. Sir Bean, final thought, sir. And Uncanny said hey to you. Yeah, he said hey. And shout out to Brick Slinger. I saw Brick Slinger in the chat. Y'all, I got away from y'all chats. I know. But Bean, is Bean back? Bean ain't back yet? All right, we're going to Red.
This has been a pretty fun show. I think I'm going to be using this as a case study from here on out on the American voter perspective. I didn't know people like this actually existed, because I go outside in my day-to-day life and I don't actually experience these opinions. So it's kind of like I'm on a safari here. But like you guys said, we're going to see what quote unquote America decides. Are we going to have a orange-haired white man bombing other countries, or is it going to be a quote unquote black woman bombing the other countries? I think it's more convenient to have a black woman bombing the countries, because at least we can be diverse while we do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think the establishment as a whole wants. But at the end of the day, I'm not really that emotionally invested in all of it. I think either way, we're probably going to war with Iran. We're probably going to have a serious economic recession in 2025, regardless of who's president. So this is, the greatest theater act. This is the Royal Kardashian of American politics. And it's going to be fun. But, don't get your hopes up, guys. We're not going to have the results of the election tomorrow. It's probably going to be another 80 days of chaos, another month or two of shenanigans. But thank you for having me. I'm Red Illusion. You can find me on Instagram. I'm selling my art, Red Z Illusion, and I'm on SoundCloud at Red Illusion.
Hey, y'all go. Make sure y'all go check out his art. I know we've been up here arguing and going back and forth and all that shit. Y'all go check out his art. I actually like some of the shit. I went over there and clicked on the Instagram link. I like some of the shit you did. I might have you draw me something. But next up, we going to Beans World. Final thoughts.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Hey, man, yeah. I really don't care who wins tomorrow. They ain't got shit to do with me. I am going to vote for Amendment 3. I'm voting yes to that. Either way, I'm just ready for the shit show to start. Because regardless, whoever wins, it's going to be a shit
I'm
show.
sorry. What's Amendment 3?
Oh, recreational marijuana.
Oh shit! Move to Colorado, California.
Yeah, just keep smoking in the confines of your house.
No.
Amendment
3 basically opens it up to like with people like me who are medical patients, who actually really need this shit. We get tax free on it. It's more of a discounted rate, and then also they have a more of a potent version that we can buy compared to the civilian side of things. So, and it allows us to grow it and everything else. So, from a financial standpoint, medical standpoint, it's an awesome thing. So, if anybody's listening out there, vote yes on Amendment 3. Oh, and the abortion amendment, vote for that one too. I forgot which one that is. But yeah. Every baby should live.
All right, y'all. Well, look, y'all heard it from everybody, man. Look. I wanted to have this discussion before the election popped off tomorrow, because we're going to see what America decides. Yes, Red, we're going to see what America decides. I know you think it's some conspiracy. Either way, neither here nor there. Not a lot of shit's going to change when it really comes down to the grand scheme of things, unless we have another pandemic come through. It's going to be status quo as usual. But I'm really ready to see what Americans pick. And we can have our political beliefs when it comes down to everything, but let's be real. We agree on more things than we disagree on. And we don't need to let this period of time every 4 years divide the fucking shit out of us, because that's kind of like the grand scheme of what these people in power want. They want us fighting over fucking chips while they raking in the goddamn meatloaf or some shit like that. I don't know if that's a good analogy. It probably wasn't. But look, it's been fun tonight. We came, we saw, we conquered, we did what we needed to do. Look, man, y'all make sure y'all hit that like. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe for your boy. Make sure y'all support the Kansas City Chiefs. And like what Miss Jackson said, support Kamala if you voting that way. We're gonna be right back up in this bitch tomorrow because we got sports talk. Hopefully, right now that the Chiefs and the Buccaneers are tied at 24. I gotta go make sure I take this game. So we hopefully I have a good night tonight, because y'all done pissed me off. But either way though, man, it's been fun. It's been great. And we're gonna catch y'all in the next one as always, man. Peace.
Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me.